I'm like, okay, what do you think? She's like, well, what about like 8?
I still hear you, by the way.
So I said, well, I'll just give you an hour. I'll just say, what about 9? She's like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, give her an hour to get situated.
Cool.
But
okay, I was just making sure the gate was closed.
It's just gonna kind of fuck me for minors.
Well, I mean, I ain't doing you any favors.
I started at 10. I'm really thinking I should just resign.
I mean, considering, with your interview and stuff, I mean, I'd wait at least just as... I mean, I feel like she's probably gonna say yes anyway. Yeah, but...
I'm sure she has no records of fucking what Mark did to me.
Well, probably not. But I mean, she doesn't really give that much of a shit about stuff like that from what I've noticed. As long as you're just like, aren't like consistently being mentioned as a problem, like, oh, you're this, he keeps doing this, he keeps doing that, blah blah blah, or whatever the fuck, just shit like that. Like, she ain't gonna, say anything.
How many references do I have at that place?
Like half the fucking store, practically.
Guess he's coming back. Joe.
Oh no shit.
From Derry?
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
He left Kroger. Because you know the lady that works in the morning? She's kind of got the, she's kind of heavier set.
Yeah.
Got long hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Talked to her, so I said, how many people are coming back? She's like, oh, about 5.
Oh yeah, also
like,
there was someone from bakery
shit.
I saw back again today.
Who? Haley?
Lori, I think?
Lori?
I don't
remember her. She kind of older, glasses.
Yeah,
hair.
small, a little shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually sick for a while, but that was while Mark's still around. But when she came back, she knows the new store director. Pretty much, bakery had like almost like none of
nobody.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh my god!" It's like there's like I didn't recognize anyone at all, but now we kind of got some of our people back again, and blah blah blah. So I've noticed some people.
Well, see, that's kind of the screwy thing is that I'm looking at it going. Okay, if I get into meat, I get off at 9 o'clock. Looking at it is going, it's like a 10-minute walk home, so 9:10 I'd be home.
Yeah.
Snaz, what are you doing?
Yeah, Zukov, what's up, bro? What are you doing? Oh, that's not even you making those notes. You were out there. You weren't in there. Oh.
Fuck.
That's just Dad, then. He's fucking doing psychological tricks on us. I honestly straight up thought that was fucking Zukov getting into shit.
Usually sounds like him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Right.
I gotta shave. Get really scruffy.
It's like you need to shave. It's just like I need to like fucking grow shit. It's like transfer that shit.
I'll trade.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like I'd say if we could figure some shit out with that, it's like it might come out a little more.
Yeah, you wouldn't like mine.
Is it just like really itchy?
Oh, it's really thick.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily mind that. I mean, once, like, right here, if I just, keep staying, willy-nilly, or whatever the fuck, for, it's just a moth.
I don't want it on me.
It's just an innocent moth. But, yeah, but if I just, kind of leave this shit untrimmed for a while, like a month or so, it'll, thicken up pretty thick, but it just kind of, it's mostly just here where this side grows way thicker than this side, and it's more splotchy over here right now. It used to be like that over here, so I could tell this side of my face actually grows slower than this side of my face, because even over here and with here, even though it grows thick, this side is still less thick than this side, and it's actually shorter even. I don't get it. I don't understand why there's less hair growth, more hair growth.
That's how mine is.
Hmm?
That's how mine is.
I wasn't able to go for a show until I was like my late 20s. Well, I'm in like my mid 20s now at this point, so.
Took me until I was about 25 for mine to actually start growing in, right?
Yeah, and now it's starting to kind of slowly but surely fuzz up now a little bit, so
Well,
it's.
see, what I used to do
For me, it's starting to get there.
What I used to do is I used to grow all this out, and then I'd stop at a point where I thought it was right. So, like right about here, shave all the way down, shave all the way back. Let this start growing, and then this will start growing more. Basically, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah. The beer is a new development for me. That was something you don't miss is about being teen, now that you're adult. For me, it's acne. I never really had bad acne. Like,
I do.
Like, the worst I ever got was maybe, like, 1 or 2 big ones, and then maybe a few small ones, but I never got any worse than that, so I never really had an issue with that.
With me, it's mostly, like, my shoulders and toe.
Yeah.
And occasionally on my face, but...
Yeah, well, I guess for teen-wise, that I don't miss... Probably... Not even really school itself, more of just, like, the homework and, like, the obligationary, like, oh, you have to do, this or that or whatever the fuck, or also just kind of the lack of actual autonomy, despite being kind of like, hey, we're gonna let you be autonomous, but we're just gonna kind of let you guess on what is okay, what isn't, and shit. On top of, just like, like whatever, school rules are and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So being, like, if parents like, oh, yeah, we'll, let you be out with your friends, but if we hear, but it's just like, if you, one bad thing that's heard over, the grapevine somehow in the game of telephone with the parents, and then it's like, nope. Or just some random bullshit like that. So, I mean, that'd probably be what I don't miss. It's just like, the lack, it's just basically it's like I guess, for lack of better words, the big brother watching.
Okay, well, my whole theory is way off topic. So...
School have a dress code? Not really.
Fuck no. I could wear whatever the fuck I wanted.
I mean...
Except for my birthday suit.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. But, I mean, like, there was basically no spaghetti tops, but there, 1 year, I think my sophomore year, most of the girls at the school protested that, and during summer, most of them were wearing, like...
spaghetti straps?
Yeah, so they couldn't enforce that rule. So, honestly, like... depending on how rabble-rousing people are, it's, like, kind of lackluster how enforceable it is. Like, I mean, you can't wear things like trench coats and shit like that, though there were a few kids who were rabble-rousing who wore trench coats anyway and just kind of gave up trying to enforce it on them. But the uniform... Yeah, school uniforms, that's just gross.
That's fucking gay.
Yeah, we never had uniforms at all.
I could wear Carhartts every fucking day, and...
The only time I ever had uniforms for school was for marching band. And there was a reason for that, because it's for Starlight Parade, and part of that is also state competition, so the uniform is part of it. And I actually kind of liked it, but that was because it was like... Yeah.
What do you play?
Trumpet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll see, I learned something the other day.
Oh, I thought I told you about that.
I played trumpet when I was in, like, the 5th grade.
Yeah, I started about 6th grade and just kind of kept on with it, and I haven't played it in a couple of years, honestly. I need to get back into it, but... Yeah, I mean... but...
There's your trumpet. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, but, yeah, like, I mean, I guess because, like, the uniform aspect was more of, like, a one-time or, like, a 2 or 3 time thing at most, because...
Did you ever go to the Starlight Parade?
Yeah, I played in it besides the 1 year they didn't let us play sophomore year because we literally kept winning first place over and over again. And that was our sophomore year. Like, I partook it 1 year, sophomore couldn't do it because they declined us. Junior year did it, and senior year did it.
When was your senior year of high school? When was your senior year?
2015.
Wow. You are fucking young. Dude, I graduated in 2008.
Man, I know like a lot of different people, whether they're family, friends, or even friends of mine that have graduated around that fucking time. I remember some kids would try to resist the uniform and they give you school suspension for it. Gross.
Dude, they still fucking do that at my fucking school.
Yeah. I mean, the worst the
worst I ever got is when I was in 3rd grade. I got out of school suspension for like the rest of the year.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was how on earth. What? I see you. Hi, snooze. Go somewhere else. No,
Aww.
fuck you.
Oh, he's just giving this little like, you want to give me a kiss right here? Yes, you do. Oh, of course you want to run off.
They bought Snickers.
They still paddled schools when you were in high school. Oh my god.
What?
Basically corporal punishment for
students.
Oh, dude,
we fucking did senior prank bullshit. What are you fucking talking about?
Well, I mean, like, paddled as in, like, corporal punishment, like,
Oh, no, we didn't. It's in my school. There was no corporal punishment. It was more along the lines of seniors are gonna fuck with you.
Well, that's different. I mean, but, like, teachers being able to use, like, physical force as a form of punishment for students. Well, certain states, I mean, there has been, I think Missouri just put in a law to where they, allow it, but...
Dude, corporal punishment will fucking blow if I was in school.
I mean, I would, yeah, like...
I would have started drinking real early.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I'd start seeing, the whole reason why people drink real quick. I mean, because I've only been spanked maybe, like, at most of my life 5 times, and it was over... I mean, honestly, I don't even really remember at this point, but...
Oh, dude, that was a bad joke. I already know this.
Yeah.
Wooden spoon. Yeah, fucking hurts.
Corporal punishment is a human rights violation. I mean, it's internationally it's considered that. I mean, when it comes to just general international law and based on UN, like, yeah, it is. And
somebody
it should be.
Wants you.
You want me and you want hugs and sweetness. Yes, you do.
Today you were being an annoying shit fuck when he was at work.
Oh, I bet you was. I bet you was.
Fucking woke my ass up from my fucking nap.
Oh. At least that's the worst thing I'm hearing from you now when I don't leave you in your kennel. Is that you kind of wake him up sometimes.
No, I put him back in his kennel because your dad's door was open and I don't know if he was fucking with your dad's shit.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Because if Grandpa's sleeping, you go on there and fuck his shit up. I found him laying on my clothes.
He made a bed out of your clothes?
No, he just went over and just fucking laid down. I heard a thud, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look over, I'm like, move! He's like, oh, fuck.
You boo.
You stay off my shit. I don't need dog hair all over it. Bad enough I have a cat.
Are you just frozen now?
But, so, your mom was going to raise my rent. But he's not getting his $50 anymore.
Well, he is, but he's just gonna get it for her directly.
Okay. If he starts bitching at me, I'll just be like...
Yeah, he just, oh my god. Like I said, I really do feel...
He didn't start bitching today, so... I'm the one who actually went out and did this because I knew that I had a limited amount of funds.
Yeah. No, if it is complete without doggo hair. Well, that's for me.
Fuck life, I have a dog already. But my dog doesn't lay on my shit. My dog just looks at me like, what are you doing? Play with me.
What are you doing? He just does little shit like that. He's such a goof.
Oh. Mr. Aries has been getting very daring.
Well, speaking of rent, I don't want to be accused of not having an house, so what would you charge me and would I give it to you? Yeah, I'd say you just give it to me. And same as him, at least in the meantime. I mean, if we're just taking a quick generalization right now.
This is the thing that I'm trying to figure out, is that if I don't stay at Fred Meyer's, it can be like 2 weeks probably. Because I gotta go through the background check and shit like that.
Right, yeah. And honestly, like, you know, as long as I, you know, keep up to date with mom about my shit and your shit about that type of stuff, I mean, she'll understand and be fine with it. You know, because...
Well, I don't want to fucking leave and then fucking have 2 weeks of fucking doing fucking nothing, dude. I'm gonna get fucking stir crazy. I'm already going stir crazy now.
I mean, I don't blame you because of just like, you know, when you're not
fucking
doing shit.
Monday, fucking starting work. It's like you could have fucking suspended me on fucking Tuesday to fucking Friday, and I came back to work.
Yeah, but no.
You could have let me finish out the fucking day until about lunchtime, and then fucking tell me I'm fucking suspended.
I know, like, I mean, you decided to, like, just tell you, like, 30 minutes into your
30
shit.
minutes into my goddamn fucking shift.
Man, what a fucking malarkey, fucking jack off son of a bitch. I mean, honestly, like, I was telling what was going on with you, and even if that other chick that was denied vacation and shit like that,
yeah.
To Armando, he's like, he was one to do that over here, bro. Like, he was kind of on a power trip around over here, you know? Trevor, your manager.
Oh, dude, he's... Whatever fucking Armando said when he fucking talked about him, has fucking came true.
Yeah, I kind of, you know, honestly, I had a feeling maybe, like, alright, you know, maybe he's okay since he's in a different area, different, you know, shit, maybe thinks, you know...
No, he's not. He's pulling.
Yeah, no, as soon as you started, like, you know, as soon as you started working with him and started mentioning shit, I'm like, oh god, it sounds like when I had to work with him a little bit. Like, on a personal level, he's not a bad dude, but working with him, oh my god.
Yes, he thinks he's fucking high and mighty and all bullshit.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, because there's been times where I've chatted with him off of work and he doesn't really have that much of it, you know, irradiates, but once it's, you know, like on the clock, you know, at work type of shit, oh my fucking god, yeah. It really does kind of get like, okay, bro, you're just trying to be top shit, and sometimes they're not totally top shit.
What I'm thinking is, since I'm going to become a meat cutter, is I don't have to deal with certain someone, because you know how I am.
Yeah.
When it comes to new people, and me knowing what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's either you shut the fuck up, let me do my job, or you're gonna fucking hear about it.
Sounds unbearable. Yeah, I mean, luckily he wasn't a manager. Like, I think at most he became assistant manager for like a month or so.
He didn't like it because he wasn't management.
Which
then he goes to my work and he fucking got management. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So he pretty much, you know.
But check this out. His assistant manager knows more than he does.
Why am I not surprised?
Because his assistant manager was a manager.
Makes sense.
But she's been doing it for years, so she knows more than he does.
Her shit in comparison to him. Weird. Interesting.
But I mean, his fucking version of fucking management is you do what I fucking say or fuck you.
Basically, delegate. I will delegate.
I'm gonna make sure that you do your fucking job right and not fucking waste my time.
Yeah.
You're not there after fucking 4:30, fucker. Why does it fucking matter? So if we coincide with your mom and tell her that I'm gonna be out for about 2 weeks, what do you think she'd say?
I think she would at least probably mention that, like, well, you know...
Try to get the house clean?
Probably, I mean, there would probably be a little bit of that, you know, and she'll probably like, well, you know, while he's just waiting around, you know, maybe have him, you know, help out a little bit, so, yeah.
Clean the house and stuff
especially
like
on my days off, that would actually even work to maybe have her come by too as well, so actually that might honestly work out pretty well.
Well, I was still thinking about the fucking storage unit too.
And I haven't talked to her about that yet, but I was going to hit her up about it.
We'll mention it to her. It's a safe facility. It's heated, cooled.
Yeah, I mean, she used to have a public storage. So none of the
stuff that is there is going to get ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to, we might be able to upgrade to a bigger one. So everything in the front room that is not being used.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, half of the stuff in there could probably be, you know, thrown out anyway.
Or garage sale. Or Goodwill.
Yeah.
Goodwill would be
gonna put my dad. Yeah, I'm gonna literally just take my dad and some of his stuff and just shove him in storage.
Oh,
You'll be fine.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, they have like a public bathroom somewhere in the storage lot, right? Yeah, he'll be okay. Apparently, Harley had an epic concert.
But you also got to realize
he did.
If we stuff your dad in a storage unit, Everything would be paid.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to worry about dishes because they'd be cleaned every fucking day.
Yeah. And that's just like, and also the counters too. And, you know, because he just straight up, like, never cleans those countertops. Because I was keeping up with those countertops.
Your dad's not a bad guy.
He isn't, but
he doesn't do a shit.
Yeah, like, I mean...
He thinks that we're slaves.
He thinks that what?
We're slaves. That we'll clean everything else for him. I've never seen your dad come out and help us at all when we're in the kitchen.
Okay, I see what... Yeah, no, honestly, in a way, because he's kind of... I mean, the stereotypical kind of, like... He has a very hardcore, like, libertarian mentality of, like... You know, of just, like, push yourself by the bootstraps type of mentality, but never does it himself. He'd rather, you know, like, kind of... Yeah, exactly, kind of be more... You know, like the quote-unquote, like, welfare queens he might, you know, complain about or some shit, but pretty much acts the most like one. While not even being on welfare either.
Realize, this is what I've been realizing, is that if your mom was here, oh, dude, shit would change. Really
fast. Yeah. Oh, dude, she would, like, you know, be a fucking, like Kim Jong-un with a velvet glove, honestly. Like, I just know her.
What you realize is she'd probably come out and help us, too.
Yeah. I mean, with what she can, you know, it being, you know, like, with her able body, but yeah. Well, it sounds like my mom. I mean, she's definitely not. Well, I mean, it's just like...
My mom's house is not the cleanest, but it is tidy.
Well, Lady Redacted comes running with Sledgehammer. I mean, frankly, I mean, like, I have the same, like, view about it, like, she does, in a sense. I mean, frankly, I mean, her having, like, the Sledgehammer mentality about it is probably, you know, the better, you know, like, a better motivator to help, you know, kind of, you know, speed things along a little bit. So, man, I'm definitely, you know, procrastinator at times. Hello and goodbye.
What is that?
I know. Hello and goodbye. Goodbye and hello. Yeah, I love how Harley, though, had, like...
Okay, you at least need to have to drink one of these.
Okay.
You don't have to drink all of them. You drink one of them.
But, yeah, you heard Harley's little journey in Seattle today so far? So he went to Seattle, went to the venue, and they don't even accept cash. They didn't allow him to keep his chain wallet at all. And, like, essentially, like, I mean, I don't even know what other bullshit there was. But, like, there was a bunch of bullshit, basically, to where he couldn't even, like, use some cash that he had. He couldn't even keep his wallet because they basically were just like, nah, this ain't, you know, acceptable for whatever dumb fucking reason.
What venue was he going
to? What venue it was like some stadium or some shit, because it was Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Poison, and one other band.
Oh, God, he probably paid pretty penny for that shit.
I think so. Probably.
Well, you can buy tickets at the door usually, unless it's fucking sold out.
They confiscated his wallet. They didn't confiscate it. They were just like, we can't allow you to have this in it. So he took everything out of his wallet and had to toss it. So yeah, which he went from like, man, this venue fucking sucks. Seattle sucks. This is just fucking bullshit. Blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, someone gave him some free beer and some free mushrooms. And he immediately went, this is the best fucking concert ever, bro. Dude, this is the best fucking night of my life in Seattle, bro. I love Seattle. Like, he literally, like, within a couple-hour time span, like, had a total 180-degree flip with how he felt about Seattle and his night. He felt like his night was ruined and shit.
Do you realize that?
And then someone gave him shrooms, and then he was like, my night's now better, yay! And then some counterfeiters had some, like, t-shirts outside, and he was able to use his cash with that, so he did get a shirt. So, you know, he actually did it in about... Yeah, dude. Shroom saved him. I'm not even kidding, I really hope he has some left. I have a strong feeling he doesn't, but...
You've never had fucking Seattle shit, have you?
No.
Oh, God.
I bet it's, like, even fucking better than up here.
Dude, I'd get my shit from a fucking dispensary. Holy fuck, that shit's good.
I want to try acid. No, I'd love to try acid again. I've only done it once. And then and then the night I took it, the next day I went to see fucking Smashing Pumpkins with my brother.
Oh, dude, that would have been a fucking kick-ass concert.
Dude, like, I mean, by the time, like, it was over the 12 hours of, like, when the acid, you know, wears off and shit, but it kind of kicked back up, you know, for the show because of all, like, the you know, like the displays and the lights and all that shit. Like, I mean, individuals, like all that type of shit, just basically fucking, you know.
How many times have you done acid?
Once. Just the one time.
Damn. I've
technically did shrooms twice, but I microdosed both of them, and it was like 2 days in a row.
You fucking microdose that shit.
Yeah.
If I ever did a fucking drug, I would call my mom and ask her how it fucking feels. She said you can either have a good trip or a bad trip.
Yeah, this usually is what I've heard too. I've had a chance, but I wussed out. Aw. Did you know? I mean, that was kind of, I almost did the same thing, but my friends were just like, come on, man, just say fuck it. You have a weekend after this anyway, and you have a concert you're going to tomorrow anyway. That would be pretty cool. You know, it's like, you know, fuck it. And I said fucking, I did it. It was amazing.
I can't be up for fucking 12 hours straight. I fucking die.
Did you know that it would be really easy to take shrooms on Amtrak? They don't check bags like the airport does. Well, yeah, like Amtrak, like it's trains. Like they're not going to do the same like type of hyper crazy security like, you know, fucking, you know, airports with TSA do. Which is nice, honestly.
I bought a bag in fucking Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a whole bunch of shit and my suitcase was fucking destroyed.
I
fucking bought a bag in fucking Alaska. Fucking third day I fucking had it. I was at my buddy's house. Fucking ripped. Are you fucking kidding me?
Damn.
Paid like $80 for it.
Damn, bro. Molly's something I feel like I could lose myself to if I wasn't careful. MDMA. Molly's really jank as fuck.
MDMA fucks you up. Bad.
Yeah. Molly's really jank as fuck. My frat boy friend did Molly, and it turned out to be spiked with meth. Oh my god.
Oh god, that would fuck somebody over.
Dude, that would fuck. Yeah, dude. What? Oh god. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really fuck with Molly as much. I primarily would definitely just, at least when it came to like drugs, like obviously weed and not, you know, alcohol, you know, obviously on mainly on social levels stuff like I'm doing now.
That shit's all fucking actually.
Yeah, that's
alcohol's legal, weed's not.
Well, I mean, in a sense of drug by like its definition, alcohol is technically a drug, you know, when it's definitely, you know, so those two psychedelics like mainly mushrooms and acid, but Molly would be up there. I mean, coke, if I knew it was basically from like some Wall Street rich fuck. Like if I knew it was like legit, like, you know, rich
shit that came from fucking Colombia.
Yeah, like some straight up, yeah, like if I was in Colombia or some shit, like if I was in Colombia and someone, you know, like at a bar down there, you know, offered me a fucking line of, you know, coke, I'd fucking do it, you know, but up here, no. Like, cause up here it's probably laced with shit, but down in Colombia where it's at source, yeah, I'd do it once, sure. But beyond that, like, I mean, I think I'm good. You know, like I'll stay away from pills and needles and random shit like that.
Pills fuck you.
That's why I stay away from them. A lot of coke slays, baby. That's why I say, you know, like chances if I ever do coke is probably either gonna be like somehow got myself into some rich fuck's party or some get together or something. Or, you know, I'm in Colombia. You know, there's like those are really the only two likely ways that you're gonna, you know, hear me doing coke. Like beyond that, not a chance. I mean, I've seen people do it, and I definitely got no issue with it, you know, or anything. Because I had a chance to do coke once. Dude,
coke keeps you up for fucking
hours. Well, I saw. Well, honestly, the. Well, at least, see, this is why, you know, I wouldn't do it, you know, at least, you know, if it's in the U.S. and offered to me, because when they were doing it, they didn't look like they were all bumped up or whatever. It didn't even look like it really affected them that much, really.
Because of the potency.
Yeah, so probably was, you know, wasn't really that strong anyway from what it seemed like, and they offered it, and I'm like, nah, I'm okay. You know, and the dude who initially, had it, it's like, hey, I hope it didn't weird you out. And I'm like, nah, it's not, you know, and it wasn't even that, bro, you're good. You know, it's just like, I ate my drug personally, you know, but I have no issue, you know, people doing it or whatever. And he's like, okay, you know, and he was like, okay, you know, so, you know, it felt good that I wasn't like, you know, weirded out or nothing, but, you know. Because like I said, you know, it feels like, you know, like literally like a bunch of rich dudes or like I was hanging out with some Colombians in Colombia or something like that, then I'd take that offer.
I'd be leery.
Well, I guess I would say I would be more considerate of taking the offer. Like, I mean, maybe not, but again, it just depends on the circumstance. Heroin is something I recommend you stay away from. Yeah, I'm never touching that shit. Fuck no.
What?
Heroin?
Oh, dude,
I would never fucking touch that.
You would get hooked automatically. You'd be fucking...
It's not even that. It's just that, like, the whole, like, needle and all that type of shit. Like, no, fuck that. You don't have
to needle it. You can smoke it, too.
Yeah, just fuck that. Just no. Just me immediately being nope with it. I felt no laces and that shit killing me. Yeah. Same with blues or fent. You know, like, no, fuck that.
Dude, fentanyl's the worst.
Yeah, and there's a major, not just an opioid crisis, but a fentanyl crisis in this country. Like, no, fuck that shit. I mean...
It kills 1 in 5 people when they fucking try it.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, the only reason why people probably don't die from it is because they already have such a high tolerance to opioids as it is that, you know, it doesn't have such
not opioids, it's when they get off of it for a fucking while and then they fucking try it again.
Well, yeah, that's usually how, like, a lot of cases people die, or they just don't, or they think they're getting, you know, just regular heroin, or, you know, and they don't realize there's a little bit of fentanyl in it, and that's what kills them. You know, because usually it's like very heavy users that don't die from it, but that's because they have such a high tolerance at that point. But still, shit's fucked. Even he agrees. Oh, look at you being so cute and sweet. You see the elephant that ripped an abuser in half? Was that one of the Onion Nugget stories? I think that was one of the... I kind of saw... I overheard some of that when I was getting ready for work. I think that was like one of their first stories. Here, let me find that. Because honestly, that's a fucking epic story. Here, let me find it. Because I know Rip City will love it. Alright, I think it's after this.
Hate pulling up behind a person like that and trying to look for opportunities to get around the...
This person had road rage.
Alright.
Just like gone. Just every second.
Okay, maybe it's not right up there. Where is it? Somewhere up in this bitch. Somewhere up in this bitch, y'all. Where the fuck was it? It was somewhere. They don't even have timestamps. That's the problem with it right now. They don't have timestamps yet. That makes it annoying. Because I have to, like, skim. I have to now skim to find it. Oh, shit, I found it. Okay, oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. Alright, oh, man, okay. Alright, let's, okay. What's it back here? Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Alright, we got the story. We got it. Let's get to the beginning of this. Let's hear this story. Let's hear our like working class hero, the elephant. Can we get to the beginning of the story here? I'm pretty sure we're still on the same... Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're still on the same article. Come on. Let's get to the beginning. Oh my god, how far do I have to go back? Okay, here we go. Right here. Boom.
You can do your little drill, but just so you know, we're just here to, like, kind of spray you with this little chemical
Elephant
here.
quit GOP to go legit?
Don't worry, it's not...
Well, yeah, it says, elephant that ripped owner in half for overworking him hailed as working class hero. So, yeah, and some of the tweets that are in the video says, nice job, buddy, and normalize ripping your oppressor in half.
Heck, the cities would probably beat that military to it. Look up the move button.
Okay, I guess they're talking
fucking people.
Yeah. Black people, by the way, surprisingly. Hailed as working class hero.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking based elephant, bro.
Normalize ripping your oppressor in half. Nice
That's
job,
what I'm talking
buddy.
about. This elephant had a problem.
Yeah.
That problem was not going to be solved by somebody wagging their finger at him going, you should treat that elephant better. So the elephant dealt with it.
Yeah.
And now that person will never abuse another animal. As long as they fucking live, it's a problem dealt with. You know what I mean?
An elephant in Thailand killed its owner by stabbing him with its tusks and ripping his body apart after he made the animal work in extreme heat. Now the internet is showing support for the elephant. Local news outlet Tiger and Chaos, I can't pronounce it, Chaosad, Reported
Why did you finish the ones you have?
Thong district.
You want me to try this?
Finish the ones you have.
Province at a
I've already had those ones. I haven't had this one yet.
Rubberwood plantation.
I don't
On
think
the morning of August 17th, police found the dismembered body of 32-year-old Supachai Wongfei. Man, you guys got some tough pronunciations over in Thailand, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I don't even care about that. I just wish that you motherfuckers over in Thailand would just treat your elephants better. The fact that you like, those sons of bitches, like, are dead ass fucking just, like, using elephants, like, hey, you know, we can't exactly use, like, actual laborers, you know, for this, like, type of fucking circumstance here, so instead of, like, doing that, we'll just use elephants.
Blood at the plantation. The elephant was still around and had to be sedated with a dart by animal rescue workers so that Wong Fei's body could be retrieved from the scene.
Or at least it wasn't killed.
Officers determined that he had been stabbed by the elephant.
Is it give me two, give me an eliminate, not mixed together grossness? I'm usually the same way, but, like, I'm kind of at a point where I had one already, so this is, like, the lemon flavor. I mean, it's okay after a while.
Before finally being ripped into two pieces. Longfade was working with the animal at the plantation.
I just love that this elephant, like, I mean, this is why I love elephants, because, you know, of their intelligence and their sentience. Like, they are very, like, you know, highly sentient animals, you know. Granted, you know, they aren't like, you know, us in intelligence and sentience, but nonetheless, I mean, they really, you know, have a very sophisticated, you know, sense of thinking and thought. I mean, I don't know if they're, like, so aware that they have a, like, sense of self, like, you know, oh, I wonder, you know, it's like, I feel like, you know, I want to, you know, have a breakfast today of some sort or whatever, you know, like, thoughts like that or some shit, like, oh, I wonder how the weather will be, you know, it's like, maybe they don't got thoughts like that, like we do, but, I mean, considering that it's like, you know what, I've been worked and abused, and it has at least enough of a concept that I don't like this, and it sucks, and I'm sick of it, and just revolted and, like, knew the main target of who was doing that shit, and just ripped the motherfucker to shreds, I mean... Like, that, I mean, it's not just out of, like, sheer, like, I'm an animal and I'm lashing out, rah. It's like, it had a target and it knew its fucking target. Like, there's been, like, we talked about in our story where, like, a woman who was, like, trying to help poachers and shit fucking got mauled and, like, and apparently, like, tried to go after, some of the village, too, a little bit. I don't know if that part of the story is true, but I kind of, you know, like to believe it is. But at least the woman getting attacked by an elephant for helping poachers is, and because the elephants kind of recognize, oh, she's helping poachers, fuck this person. Like, they can recognize certain things that makes them a lot more intelligent than we would like to kind of think. Dolphins said to be as smart as us, but since they like thumbs, good luck developing. Yeah, dolphins are another animal like this as well, where they're very, very intelligent and highly sentient and have a lot of very sophisticated social structures and language, too. I mean, within different dolphin pods. But obviously, considering that they don't have, you know, appendages like we do, it's very hard for them to, you know, do much besides swim around and be dolphins.
It's cool after being forced by the owner to work and haul rubberwood in extreme heat. Since the story went viral, people on the internet have come out in support of the 22-year-old beast.
Why not have, like, I don't know, like, a gigantic fucking transport truck?
Named Pom Pam for standing up to the owner. Yeah, this elephant fucking kicks ass.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, you know, you fucking make...
I mean, we need, like, a whole herd of elephants to just, like, rise up and just, like, take out one of these, like, plantation villages or something. I mean, the animals are rising up, dude. Like, fucking orcas have been, like, you know, there's been articles about how they're actually starting to just straight attack boats now. Fucking, you know, like, elephants, you know, lashing out against people and shit. Like, I mean, dude, the fucking animals are evolving and adapting. And a part of that is intelligence. And their intelligence is, you know, saying that we fucked up and we're the problem. Yeah, they know. They know, bro.
It's elephant fuck. I mean, like, making an elephant fucking work for you in general, go fuck yourself. But, like,
true.
Especially, like, in extreme heat, making this elephant fucking do this horrible fucking manual labor and shit. Like, fuck you. You deserve to get ripped apart.
True.
Someone raised General Sherman from the graves to do some cooking in the South. Wink, wink. American Christian authoritarianism started with CSA. There you go.
I mean, honestly, I'd argue it started way sooner before that, but yes, it got far more codified with the Confederate States. The Department wishes dragons are real so we can have stories about idiots getting eaten by dragons. That would be fucking amazing. I mean, honestly, like, because you know there would be people like us who'd be like, hey, don't fuck with the dragons. If you see them flying overhead, don't fuck with them. Or, you know, if you see them, you know, coming near you, you know, like, act this way or do this, and they won't come after you or blah, blah, blah. But you know you're going to get some bunch of dipshits who are like, the fucking dragon's attacking! Quick, get your AR-15s! And, you know, so, like, but back in the day, it'd be like, quick, get your crossbows and your bows! Get your spears and javelins! But these days, you just get some fucking yokel being like, quick, grab your AR-15, brothers, and get your fucking drum mags. We're gonna mag dump this fucking dragon son of a bitch. But, yeah, these motherfuckers would just get... Like, I mean, because they think, like, what, the thick scales of a fucking dragon flying up and murking their ass is gonna fucking, like, you know, be affected by a 5.56? I don't think so.
Nice ripping your oppressors in half. I love that one. Elephants low-key have the biggest haters, and I strive to be on the level of hating someday. Yeah.
True.
What is the opposite of quiet quitting? That's a good one.
Like, loudly ripping your, owners to shreds as a revolt against your work as a form of quitting.
I know they probably will.
Our military would be able to take out dragons, but some local with a rifle, I doubt. Well, yeah, fucking military would be able to. But yes, that's what I mean. Like some, you know, a bunch of yokels who got together, you know, because Elmer Fudd got a wise idea to get a militia together to take out the dragon. Like, yeah, those guys are getting eaten. All of them are. Maybe one of them would have lost an arm because it got maimed, but, you know, he ran off because the dragon was eating the rest of them after they got killed.
All these animals that fucking stand up for themselves against these fucking brutal humans get fucking killed because it's like, oh, well, he harmed a human. Let's not...
I mean, honestly, like, I hate that rule, by the way. Like, oh, we have to put the animal down because, you know, the sanctity of a human being died. It's like, you know, like, frankly, honestly, for me at this point, and context matters in that case. If you got this type of shit, no, that elephant deserves to live. If you got, like, you know, some moron jumping into an animal enclosure at a zoo, no, that animal should be okay to live. Like, I mean, like, unless there's, like, you know, yeah, you got, like, some wild tiger, you know, fucking... You know, like, you know, stalking, you know, the outer edges of, like, you know, the farmlands of, like, you know, some village, and it's being a menace and killing people left and right, you know, and, like, 40 people died within, like, a year's time or something like that. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to probably take that, you know, tiger out and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, but, like, when it comes to fucking just all the, you know, the cases like this, nah, the animal absolutely should have every right to live and had every right, you know, to do what it had to do. Because it's an animal. Like, I mean, what? You think it's gonna, you know, care about our fucking sophisticated morals and ethics? Like, pff, who gives a shit? Like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's a social Darwin award. I'm gonna be Aleister Crowley with it. It's like, too bad, so sad. Shouldn't have been an idiot. Dicks out for Harambe. This all started with Harambe. Yeah, no, honestly, it did. Because, I mean, that was a case where, I mean, the animal wasn't even being threatening. Like, I mean, the kid, you know, fell into the enclosure. The gorilla walked up to the kid. And if anything, was actually kind of holding on to the kid. And if anything, kind of having, like, you know, a maternal instinct of, like, yo, is this kid okay? You know, kind of, you know, guarding the kid in a sense, holding on to him. I mean, there was no fucking reason whatsoever for that gorilla to be shot. I mean, that's why there was such a fat meme, you know, about, you know, like... respects for Harambe and all that shit, like the whole meme in itself, because, I mean, it was so obvious there was no reason for that. I mean, sedating the gorilla and, you know, with a tranquilizer, you know, rifle and making sure it gets knocked out, you know, so you can go grab the kid, that I can get, that's understandable, but, like, you know, taking your fucking 308, like, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit pig. What shocks me is the person couldn't use a truck to move the logs and had to use an elephant instead. That's what I mean. Like, use a transport truck that is, like, meant for logging. Like, what? Thailand is not, like, fucking... Don't got enough money lying around? Like, the company that you're working for, don't, you know, that you own, don't got enough money running around, you know, for a fucking few lumber trucks? Go fuck yourself, you worthless son of a... Well, I guess he can't go fuck himself. Well, I guess he can. He can, you know, eat his own ass out since now he's ripped to shreds in two. He can go take his, you know, lower half and eat his own ass out and suck his own dick. So there you go. So he can fuck himself. He can fuck himself in the afterlife.
We're looking into what the human did to fucking deserve it.
Well, he solved a problem on his way out. It's good for him.
True.
Good for him. He
Good.
dealt with it.
Good on you,
Dealt with it.
Pam. You a good elephant.
Pom Pam,
We
dude.
all support you here at Deep Fat Fried.
True.
We love you. We love you, Pom Pam.
Respects Pom Pam.
Truck spills 150,000 tomatoes, causing California
So
crash.
I heard, I remember hearing a little bit of this before I went to work. This shit's a little whack, bro, because this happened twice around the same time. So you had tomato in California, you know, a bunch of tomatoes and tomato sauce basically just like slithered off around a highway in California. But I'm gonna foreshadow this happened twice within basically the same day and time period, somewhere else. Of different things.
Dude, that's just like some marinara sauce just being made.
I know,
right
isn't
there.
that nice?
Yeah, it's just being made.
Delicious. Just throw some
wanna go-
spaghetti on that.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Just get a little bit of beef and spaghetti. Oh, dude, fuck yeah. You got yourself like a highway-size fucking spaghetti dish ready to go to feed, like, you know, fucking legion of men and women and fucking warriors, you know, to go conquer the earth.
Dude, I have ideas. I think my horny is showing when I think of them, though. I was thinking get some of them fucking big-ass, like, Instagram models and shit, like, roll around on these tomatoes to crush them up real good.
Yeah.
Pasta, you know?
Oh.
Dump that pasta in there, eat that shit right off the road.
Mm.
Why
I mean, the
fuck
road
not,
might be a
man?
little nasty, but, you know, whatever.
Well, don't go on the bottom layer. Like, the top layer, everything that isn't touching the road is okay. So as long as you're not scraping the bottom, I think you're okay.
Or the ones
Yeah,
that,
you know, you leave the fucking, you get a protective layer on the bottom so that there's not too much gravel in it and stuff. But, you know, I mean, hey, that's good shit. So yeah, this happened pretty nearby. I mean, California's a big state, so I don't know how nearby it was to you, actually.
It depends.
A truck had spilled more than 150,000 tomatoes across a busy motorway in the U.S. State of California, bringing traffic to a standstill. The spattered tomatoes caused 7 cars to crash and close much of the State 80 highway on Monday. 3 people had minor injuries, and a 4th is in the hospital with a broken leg.
I mean, that's why I kind of giggle, because no one died, at least. That's why it's kind of funny. It's just like, I mean, imagine, like, you know, you're in the hospital, it's like, damn, you have a broken leg, man, what happened? I swerved out of the way and crashed because there's literally a fucking flood of tomatoes on the highway. Like, just imagine having to tell that story. It's like, yeah, I was backed up and on the highway for a long time and almost crashed because there was tomatoes all over it.
Tomato season, lorry drivers. How this was not written.
This happened with queso sauce in Alabama. Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck, man?
Major motorway to transport the fruit across the state. An initial collision caused the tomato truck to swerve into the central divide of the motorway, spilling fist-sized tomatoes across a 200-foot section of the motorway.
So it sounded like the truck driver was trying to avoid a collision that happened in front of him, and because of that, crashed himself and thus caused more collision. I mean, that just sounded like a domino effect of just epic proportions. Ugh, dude. This is why we need, like, high-speed rail. This is why we need to, like, fucking hyper-revitalize infrastructure in this country, by the way, just a side note. Because shit like this would not happen as much. Like, yeah, obviously there would still be, like, you know, trucking and shit like that going on still, but it would not be as much of a necessity, and things like this would be more of a rarity. And if anything, also, that would probably even lighten the shifts and the hours of truckers anyway at that point, because if anything, like, all they have to do is, you know, most of their job is probably just drop their shit off at, like, you know, hub points, you know, where high-speed rail, you know, gets, you know, supplies and, you know, fucking shipments in and just ships it, you know, to another hub point to where it can be redistributed to, you know, the warehouses and where it's needed and blah, 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 blah. Like, if anything, that would make, like, their 14-plus hour drives, you know, cut down to more like, you know, maybe 8 or maybe at most 10 or 12, you know? So it's just, like, probably be better, you know, for even the drivers who already are driving a shit, you know? So, like, it's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's not like a, you know, like, I mean, this happening, you know, like, isn't, like, well, our infrastructure sucks. I mean, it's just... I mean, it just will minimize these things happening and shit. Because, like I said, this happened twice, literally in the same day, around the same time, basically.
The Sea of
And
Red
in fact,
Sox-
I'll give off a hint of where it happened. You know, it happened in California, and it happened in Tennessee.
deep, cooking in the California sun.
Lovely, man. Just ready for some...
Bah, ignore. We should invest in more Chinook helicopters to carry supplies. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, honestly, like, when it comes to very short-term, supply, chains and shit, yeah, fucking give, USPS and fucking UPS some Chinook helicopters for, luggage and shit. Yeah, fuck it. Like, I mean, hey, you got, like, a regional airport that, could, have, like, mail trucks and shit, more outside of, like, these smaller towns and shit, where it'd be better for them to get their shit, picked up at or whatever. Yeah, like, honestly, like, fuck it, yeah. I know you just, like, were memeing and you're being sarcastic, but I'm actually gonna make that into a point where that could fucking work. Because, yeah, like, I mean, why not? Like, yeah, like, you got, like, your FedEx shit that, flies into your big international airports, have maybe, some smaller FedEx Chinook helicopters or some shit, where they'll fly into smaller regional airports where USPS, UPS, whatever the fuck, picks shit up there and, distributes it in smaller towns around those areas and stuff like that. It'd be more efficient and effective in a way, at least, for getting packages out to people who are more farther away from, places where they can get mail and shit. So, I mean, I don't know, like, honestly, dead ass, like, I mean, especially when it comes to surplus military aircraft and stuff like that, I mean, a lot of it could be repurposed into, like, transport vehicles or, like mail aircraft and shit like that, because air mail's still a thing. I mean, you might as well, do it from just not on the big level, but even on more regional, smaller levels, too. Like, where, yeah, even helicopters are being used, because why not? I mean, fuck it. I mean, instead of letting them rot in the fucking sun in some goddamn desert in Nevada, I mean, you might as well get some use out of it. I mean, seriously. I love, Rail Talk. They have shitloads of airplanes in the local armory that are cargo planes that have been seen fly over 5 years. My point exactly. Like, put that shit to use. Instead of, like, having tax dollars wasted and just, like, letting them rot, basically. And just rust. I mean, fuck that. I mean, they should be, used. And, yeah, like, I'd even say this. Like, yeah, if, you have military equipment that isn't being used within a certain time period, either it gets decommissioned to where it gets broken down into raw material again, or if it can, or if necessary, repurpose it into something logistically into the economy, like with this whole airmail thing that we're talking about. I mean, honestly, like, because, I mean, it's not just, like, tanks and shit like that the military has, but there's a lot of various logistical shit that they have, too, like big-ass, trucks and stuff, utility trucks, fucking field trucks, aircraft, helicopters of all sorts that can easily be repurposed, and given to different, companies and shit to where they can use them. And if anything, can also, like, hell, give them, like, a deal if they buy, the surplus equipment and shit, where they can get it, like, a little better cut instead of, something, like, something else that, would be, like, brand new or something. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I mean, there could be ways around this type of shit where there can be kind of the whole sense of reusing things to where they're at least not being rusted and just going to waste. At least get the full life out of the fucking thing. I mean, that's basically just where I come from it. It's like, yeah, it's like if you still got, like, I mean, if we're still doing that with, like, fucking B-52s, like that, the B-52 is a bomber that has basically been around since the fucking, like, 60s. And we're still using the fucking thing. It's like, I mean, evidently, like, we can still suck the life out of, like, as much, tech, that is, like, basically from the 60s and shit. Like, why, what, we can't do that for certain things? Only part of civilian government that gets good military gear is the police. And that needs to change. Like, why can't, like, UPS, or I guess USPS, I should say. I mean, I get it confused a little. But, with the USPS, with the United States Postal Service, why shouldn't they be able to have, like, some for regional delivery stuff, to where they can have, like, set up at regional airports, like a little USPS hub, to where they can have, like, these little Chinook helicopters or some shit fly around, and fucking, like, land these little hubs to where they can help, with the logistical, problems of trying to deliver mail into tiny, smaller towns and shit like that. And my friend Harley is high off mushrooms and having some fun or something. I've seen the medical Chinook at the regional hospital. Yeah, like, I mean, if we repurpose it for, we could repurpose military helicopters for utilities, like, for medical industries and shit, like you're saying. I've seen Hueys and stuff like that used for, like, the National Guard and even for, well, the Coast Guard specifically. and for the hospitals and shit too at times. I mean, at this point, the National Guard and Coast Guard too have Blackhawks now, but they're just painted in their white and orange. But I mean, every now and then they'll have a Huey. Let's do some old Blackhawk custom helicopters. Yeah. Well, Blackhawks are not old. Like, our military, the U.S. Air Force still uses them. Well, not just the Air Force. Like, the whole military does, because it's not just the Air Force that has them. Like, the Army, National Guard, Coast Guard. Like, the Blackhawk is still being developed. I mean, it's still being made and commissioned to the state. They're actually, I mean, they're working on a new helicopter to replace them. But I think it's only in the testing phase right now. Like, they're doing test flights and shit like that at the moment. Which, honestly, it's like developed by Bell and Sikorsky, and honestly, it looks fucking cool. Like, it's actually kind of a cool-looking fucking helicopter. It's like a part pusher and to an extent, so it helps with fuel efficiency and with speed as well, so it can be more faster than regular helicopters. It's kind of a cool thing. At least as a transport and utility logistical helicopter, it would be pretty badass. I imagine it's also meant to be a multi-purpose and multi-role helicopter, so I imagine it also is going to be able to have armament on it, which I don't exactly 100% vibe with, but, you know, I mean, it's going to immediately go to the military first, so. My stepdad hates Black Hawk Down. It brings up unpleasant memories, because while he wasn't there, he knew some of the guys that movie is based on. Well, I also imagine he probably knows that the movie is probably not exactly historically accurate either. I mean, I honestly have no idea how accurate it is, but I mean, considering like movies like American Sniper and shit being fucking basically pure fiction, I would imagine that movie is too. I have it on VHS, by the way. Well, I don't, but my parents do. Here's modern war movies in general. Well, I guess that's one thing that him and I probably would agree with for his westerns. I mean, I guess that's also another thing I would agree with, at least when it comes to modern movies. I will say, though, there are some good modern war movies. I mean, not really, like, modern, like, in a sense, but, like, Dunkirk, 1917. Like, I mean, there's some good modern war movies. War Horse is another good one. I mean, there's some good war films. But I mean, I think 1917 is fantastic. Oh my god, dude. Some of the fucking scenes in that movie are just amazing. Like, I loved how so many shots, and especially if you look behind the scenes of that film, are shot continuously. Like, the first, I think it's like the first 9 or the first 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure it's at least the first 9 for sure. Like, the first 9 minutes are all one continuous shot. It doesn't pause and there's no break in it. Like, as soon as they go in the bunker talking to their commanding officer and their CO, you know, about their mission of being messengers, like, as soon as they go into that scene, that's where it cuts. And it's like, you know, non-stop, like, you know, continuous shot where they're walking through this entire, you know, trench line and shit. It's so fucking cool. And also the scene with the sniper, because that scene, like, if you notice, with the Lee Enfield, the Lee Enfield, I think it's the Mark 1 during World War I. I think they have the Mark 3 by World War II. I think that's when it is. But either way, it's a Lee Enfield. And, you know, but it holds 10 rounds of .303. And basically, you know, within the airplane that crashed in a barn and the German pilot, which honestly I think the one thing I don't like about 1917 is it basically paints the Germans as all fucking like, I'm going to kill you no matter what type of fucking villains, because there was a sense of chivalry where, like, if the World War I pilot was picked up and saved by, you know, even by a few Brits, like, he's not going to immediately gut you and fucking, you know, take a knife to you and try to pull out his fucking Luger and shoot you. Like, he's not going to do that. Like, I mean, maybe, like, it would be such a rare exceptionary case of something like that happening, but that just would not fucking happen. Like, there was, a sense of, like, oh shit, like, I'm a pilot, but, these, infantry dudes, have a sense of camaraderie to help me, like, I'm gonna take the help, like, I'm a pilot behind enemy lines at this point, so that just was not, back then it was honorable to take prisoners. That too, like, I mean, there was some stuff about 1917 that I definitely didn't like. But the overall plot and the story and the overall cinematography and a lot of the scenes and even the accuracy, despite some of this part of the inaccuracies, I think a lot of the other accuracies that they did have within the movie, I think kind of override that in my mind. I think they're more nitpicks at that case. It's just more or less like the sense of like Hollywood, and I think in entertainment in general there has to be the sense of a big villain. So no matter what, the bad guys always have to basically be no matter what bad guys. Very black and white shit, basically. So I don't really inherently fault the movie for that. But nonetheless, it's still kind of a pet peeve, I suppose. World War II, a reinvented war, and I feel like we are still kind of in that era, just more advanced in modern day. Well, nah, I mean, things have changed since World War II, 100%. I mean, look at Ukraine. Like, is Ukraine like World War II? I mean, honestly, like, kinda, I guess. But, I mean, not really. I mean, it really isn't. Like, a modern war today is, like, I mean, the closest we could have seen from that was, like, after the breakup of Yugoslavia and shit. But even then, like, I mean, war has definitely changed a lot now because of drones and AI and robotics. I mean, things are different now. Even from then. I suppose the whole sense of armored warfare, I mean, because World War II really pretty much, like, solidified and codified the sense of modern warfare. Modern war is less messy. Yeah, it's less personal. I guess why there was such more of a sense of chivalry in World War One, because it was personal. Even if you were a pilot, because it was open canopy. There was pretty much nothing keeping you locked and secured in the cockpit either, besides like a couple straps. So like, you had like your one strap, around your waist and maybe like two, around your shoulders to kind of keep you secure in there, but you're just kind of fucking free, you're just kind of free floating that bitch. Like, you're just kind of in there. So, it's just like, I mean, and especially considering planes are also a lot more smaller than, and being in dogfights, you can see the other pilot, and see what they're doing, and you can look in their eyes and shit, if you flew by them. And there was definitely been different accounts, especially if you hear about different aces like Werner Voss, Manfred von Richthofen. I'm only thinking of German aces, but I know there was I'm forgetting like the aces who were the French, British, and American aces, because there was a few of them that were, but a lot of their accounts, like, they would sometimes see actually the account of the pilots that took down Werner Voss, they were able to see the white in his eyes, to the extent flying by him, during the dogfight and shit. And and honestly, like, in some ways, even dogfighting was seen as almost like an art, of like planes and, fabric and wood dancing. Sometimes pilots would describe it like that, like, just artificial man-made machines dancing with their fabric and wood, throughout the clouds, as lead, tries to, pierce through their, fabrics to break their dance and shit like that. Like, I mean, it was almost poetic how pilots would describe it. Because honestly, a lot of them were poets. There's a female sniper World War II racked up. Yeah, Lumina Pavlichenko. She was a Soviet sniper. People like the Red Baron racked up an impressive kill count for the time. Yeah, and then Eric Hartman, comes into chat. He's just like, oh, that Baron Manfred von Richthofen. Look at that 81 kill count. Does it surpass my 350 plus kill count though? 9. I don't think it does. That Ernst Hartman, or Eric Hartman, like, dude, that guy fucking, he ranked up a shitload of fucking kills. I mean, in aircraft sense, kills aren't literally kills. They're just like the plane being taken down. That doesn't necessarily mean the pilot dies, you know, but chances are that's probably the case. Because there's been times where there's been multiple kills of the same pilot over and over again because the pilot doesn't die, but they, you know, bail out and survive to fight another day and just get another plane, basically. So there was, you know, like there was, especially in World War II, there was a lot of that. I mean, in World War I that happened as well because a lot of cases there would be times where, you know, pilots would shoot for the engine specifically, and, you know, the engine gets shut out, and obviously they would have to glide all the way down and shit, and basically that's about as far as they can get, you know. It's like, you know, just kind of glide and land, and, you know, that's it. What are you whining about, bro? Here. What the fuck, dude? There's the Wife Death in Finland. Oh yeah, with Sema Haya. Sure is talkative while high on shrooms, Lamau. I noticed this. You know what? You know what? Fuck it. I mean, like, we know everybody in the group chat, basically. Check this fucking shit. I'm high off my fucking ass, but you'll never guess what I fucking found Seattle on a complete accident. A Harley Davidson shop. Holy shit. Like, it's like the gates of motorcycle heaven. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson. It is like the gates, dude. Oh, dude, look at that. Oh, that's a fucking nice picture, man. Dude, Harley got a pretty cool pic. Dude, he needs to wipe his fucking camera phone, though, because Jesus Christ, it's so smeary. I'd be like that with a retro game store. There's a few of them around here. I can't tell if I'm high or just having a mo. I feel like I've been here before, not like today, but like in the past. I mean, you were here with Tyler Suzuki and I years ago, Lamau. That's right, near that antique store that may or may not still exist. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, Stefan just coming in to correct him. No shit, yeah, because that is probably the case. I mean, I've been here multiple times. I mean, I've been here when I, the first time in Seattle, when I saw Nightwish. Thank God for the counterfeiters. I got a t-shirt for 20 fucking bucks, man. Fuck. Hell yeah, dude, he is talking of his shit on shrooms. Here, we'll see his other pictures. Oh, he's still typing, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I see him up there, he's typing, uh-oh. But looks like Elysian, which is a craft brew up here, has a Def Leppard Pale Ale. Available here in 19.2 ounce cans. Evanescence is Diet Nightwish A. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they kind of are. Oh, let's see this. Okay, my friend's phone mic is horrible. I can tell this is Motley Crue. I immediately can tell this is a Motley Crue song. So this is Motley Crue right here. I don't know what song it is, but I can tell what it is. It's Motley Crue. Oh, there's titties. I saw some booty. I'm seeing booties. They have strippers on the stage, dude. Yes. Fucking Motley Crue. Love it. If that's Motley Crue, they still sound like they did 2014. They need drugs. Well, for my... to sound perfect. Well, honestly, from my understand, they actually sound, you know, better from what he's saying. You know, you're probably right. Fucking Harley, dude. Dude, what a dork, man. High on shrooms in the middle of Seattle. He's just having an all-nighter there because his train back home doesn't come until like 7:30 in the morning. Dude, I love how he basically started his night shitty, but then it turned around so quick, and now he's having like the fucking time of his life right now. No wallet chain, he lost that, but he's having fun though. Yeah, but yeah, I would play some Nightwish here to kind of give you an idea about, like, you know, the mix of the two, but Alex Jones breaking news. What? This isn't breaking news.
This is going on. I've seen this.
What's up, Logic?
With my eyeballs. It's happening everywhere. California, Michigan, Pennsylvania. This is a...
Harley's hilarious. I know, dude. I decided to just go on a Telegram to kind of show what's going on with him since he's high on mushrooms right now, and it's fucking hilarious, dude. Dude, I love how his night started kind of shitty, and then it turned around so quick, and now he's having like the time of his life right now, dude. I love it. I love Harley, man. He's such a funny dude. So great. Dude, you should try to find somebody, you know, at like after the concert, you know, just to have fun with or something. I don't know, just be like, yo, what's up, man? Awesome concert, yeah, boo. You know, just like you just kind of like hang out with him enough to the point where he just like spends a night at some dude's place in Seattle or something. Did my hike, worked, made money. Not bad life at all. Nice. Got a vape shop, give me a bunch of free sushi. Nice. That's also some good shit right there.
Over. This is it.
This is it, gentlemen.
See this in this little piece. Here it is.
Mushrooms.
Hold up.
I mean, hold up. I'm not the one who did the mushrooms. It's my friend. I wish I would have the mushrooms. Honestly, he better have some. He better have some left over.
Something ain't right.
I doubt it, but I hope.
And that's really what's going on here.
Damn. That's what's going on here. What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Some mushies. I mean, I want some, but I don't have any. And my friend is high off of them, which implies that he may or may not still have some left. You can order spores over the internet. I don't have any way to grow them. Like, I don't have a location and a spot set up. And funny enough, though, my dad does know how to grow them. He used to grow them back in his college days. And to get all the stuff, it's easy. I mean, I don't even need that shit, though, because, like, I live in Oregon. Like, I can go to the Tillamook forests, like, out in the marshes and shit, and find some there during the fall. It ain't really that hard. I just need to, obviously, know what I'm picking for. Because of all the cattle land around the Tillamook, especially if you know about, you know, the Tillamook cheese factory, you know, with all the cheese and ice cream and all that awesome goodness that Tillamook makes. Like... I mean, you know, just straight up, you know, it's like because of all that, and because of, like, you know, some of the others, you know, like, aspects of, you know, the salt water and, you know, like the forests of the marshlands and some of the fresh water of the rivers around Tillamook and the cattle lands, like, it makes shroom picking for a lot of people that love to pick mushrooms edible for psychedelic use or for food use alike. You know, the Tillamook forests are a great spot for it. Make your dad grow shrooms pay his way. After all, pull yourself by the bootstraps. I mean, we don't have a way to legitimately, like, set up a spot to grow them. Like, we'd have to, like, have a isolated, sealed area to grow them and shit. Like, I mean... I did not grow any of my own, but I heard that's not very hard, and I hear that's fun to do. Oh, yeah, it ain't really too hard from what I understand. From my, at least from my dad said, you want to have it, like, kind of sealed and kind of like isolated so the spores don't like get out and about, so it doesn't like affect, you know, the area and shit. Which, I mean, considering that psychedelic mushrooms can be found around here, I don't really think that's really a big problem anyway. So, I mean, like, we could probably, you know, have a spot set up, but, you know, I mean, it's just about, like, you know, for me to learn the process, more or less, like, because I know my dad does, but, you know, he needs to teach me the learns of the trade. Just need plastic bin, some holes in it, put some jars, pressure cooker, put spores in it, follow directions as they grow. Well, the direction part as they grow is really the thing. I can get it set up to, you know, have a spot for it to grow, but down here the only place to find good shrooms isn't cow shit. Well, that's why, you know, I'm mentioning the Tillamook Forest, because of a lot of different cattle lands that are owned by Tillamook for their cheese and dairy and, you know, their ice cream and stuff. You know, a lot of, you know, that, especially all these generations, you know, their soil, you know, mixed in, you know, adds, you know, some of the nutritional aspects of where these magic mushrooms, you know, can grow, even if it's not necessarily in straight up in, cow shit, basically. Like there's like enough moisture and enough like water within the soil and stuff because of the salt water, and with the different little rivers and watersheds in the area for things to seep and move around and stuff, at least within the soil. Especially fungus. Like, I mean, like the biggest fungal organism is an organ. So I mean, like, fungus grows far and wide. So it's just not so it's not like just because you find some mushrooms in the middle of a forest doesn't mean it's probably connected to some cow shit way over in the fucking cattle lands, in Tillamook. You know what I mean? I put some of the spores in the after pressure, cooking them, put them in a dark place until the psilocybin is ready, and then just keep them moisturized, follow Lifer's darkest routine. But you're a fun guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you sound like, and I do have you on Discord, so you're definitely gonna need to, like, give me, like, a PDF file or some shit to give me, like, the specific, deets, because, you sound like, the guy. You sound like the guy. The guy to know. It's way easy. Yeah, like I figured once you get it set up and going, like pretty much everything else kind of does itself. It's not like weed where you have to kind of take care of it and tend to it over time. Like fungus are pretty self-explanatory. Like fungus are just gonna fungus. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna do its own thing. Now I should do some jankum. Jankum. What? Okay, I feel like I've heard that before, but what the fuck is that? It's where you inhale poop. Ew, God, dude, are you trying oh my God, even myself, like even if I unleashed like the bowels of hell, no pun intended, from my bowels, like that would make me gag and actually unironically start wanting to puke. Like, how in the fuck does someone get high off of that? Like, I mean, I would actually, like, puke, like, not just puke, but literally probably, like, repulse my fucking, like, inside-out stomach. Just, like, everything, dude. I don't even know. Apparently it gets you, it gets some people high as balls. I haven't tried it, Lemau. I'm not trying it, nor will I ever, because, no, fuck that, dude. Don't knock until you try it, man. No. There's some drugs and some substances I'm just going to avoid with a 10-foot pole, and that's one of them. Well, that I'm probably going to avoid more with 10 feet. I'm going to probably avoid that with, like, 30 feet. Make a jam instead, and then we're talking, what is this? Fucked up foods. Got a fucked up food. Peanut butter and jelly grizzly. A peanut butter and jelly grizzly, what's this? Like a peanut butter jelly but on a fucking hot dog bun? Or wait, there's a hot dog in it? Is that what I'm looking at? Is there a hot dog in the middle of that? Yeah, I think there is. So, it's okay. You know what? You wanna know how this will be fire? Breakfast sausage. Not just like the little mini links either, where they're like, yay long, where you might have to put 2 of them in this bitch. No, I'm talking like a big fat sucker. Like, just get some breakfast sausage, roll it up so it's about as lengthy as a wiener like this, cook that bitch up, put some jam on there, or, and some peanut butter, preferably crunchy peanut butter to add a little texture to it, I think. I think that would be nice. And maybe a little bit of maple on the top of it, for a little extra glaze, you know what I'm saying? And that right there would be fucking fire. And a honey wheat, for a little sweetness from the bread. Ooh, there you go. That would actually be pretty fire if you do it like that. See, like, I mean, all it takes is a creative mind, of a stoner, to just start something, and then it takes another creative stoner to finish the process, because that's the start of something of potential. So breakfast sausage and a little bit of maple with, like, a honey wheat bun. Oh, then we're talking. The key is to, as far as I'm illegal, so you can buy them easily over the web. Hey, I try it. Guacamoreos. Oh, God, fuck. Bleh, bleh, fuck that. Bleh, bleh, bleh. Rose, you're saying you try them? That makes me gag. Jankum, the most deception drug First you shit him out, then you pee in it, right? And then he covered the neck of the ball with a balloon and put it in the sun for a week, called cooking jinkum. After that you breathe. No, I'm not. No, no. No. Jankum needs to just like be abolished. Yeetus deletus, go away. Like, go away, Jankum. You're a drug that should just never even. You're not even a fucking drug. It's like you're just basically like biochemical warfare, but somehow people get high off of it. Or at least people convince themselves to, you know, think they get high off of it. Creaminess avocado with the sweetness of Oreo cream. But there's no Oreo cream in there! Fucking Harley. My friend, dude, I love it. Honestly, despite everything, this is the most fucking fun I've had in a long ass time. I knew it! Yeah, despite the shittiness of Harley starting his night, it turned around for him. Dude, I love it. I love how my friend's having so much fun in Seattle right now. Dude, he's trying to find munchies! Dude, I love. Oh my god, bro. Okay, I'm showing this. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty cool city, yeah. It is, but I wish I could find a fucking convenience store. It's like, get some munchies because I'm high as fuck. Oh my god, dude. I love him. Dude, I love my boy, dude. That's just too good. Oh my god, that's just fucking great. I can't help but just laugh at that because that's just fucking amazing. I don't think Harley realizes how unintentionally funny he really is. And in a good way, though. Like, I mean, not in a bad way, in a good way. Because, I mean, that is just unintentionally just funny, but just because of how, like, comical it is. Alabama is a state that's so puritanical that Jankum is the drug of choice. Actually, Rip, that's Florida. Wow, when you get corrected, damn. When you get corrected on the drug choice of what Alabama wants. Which I'm pretty sure is meth. I feel like I'm a little bit more accurate to what Alabama wants to, you know, use as its substance of choice. Legally, alcohol. But illegally, meth. Or I guess that gray line would be opioids, but pretty much every fucking state got that, so that doesn't count. Unless you're like West Virginia or something, then it does for you. Alabama lives and breathes meth and benzos. You'll see, I'm half right. I got the meth part right. And whenever you're withdrawing on meth and you're depressed, that's when the benzos kick in. Am I right with that too? I feel like I'm right with that. I'm pretty much right with that too. Oh no. I got light and you left, bitch. Not that it matters, like I would right here. Honestly, Benzos kicks ass, but that's another thing, like, too much I can't do. So I know it's really bad. Yeah, you don't want to have to move to fucking Moscow and get into, like, a fucking coma over there. Don't end up like Peterson and go into a fucking medically induced coma, bro. And start fucking, you know, puritanically ranting and screaming about, you know, woke moralists, you sons of bitches. Up yours, woke moralists. I can't. Dude, that never gets fucking old. I can't even say that without fucking giggling or laughing, dude. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. I can't believe you fucking did that so seriously. Oh my god, dude. I mean, I hate him, but I love Jordan Peterson, though. I mean, I love him because of why I hate him, you know what I mean? It's like, I hate to love him. Like, or I love to hate him, I should say. Because, goddamn, dude. Lovecraft Lemons. What the fuck happened to this lemon, dude? What happened to this lemon? When life gives you lemons, you... True. True. I hope someone does a meme with Goku and Frieza. Oh my god. Dude, I mean, yeah, how has someone not done that yet? Well, speaking of woke moralists, actually, and Walsh is demanding an apology after being blamed for inspiring a bomb. Oh my god. Up yours, woke moralists! Well, he doesn't do that, actually. What? He's like, I mean, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it different. It's like, up yours, woke moralists! I demand an apology because how dare you try to cancel me over me literally trying to threaten people because I think pedophilic grooming is happening at hospitals or something. Yes, I'm a very bland and boring person that looks like the anti-alter ego and Terran universe version of fucking Mike Figueredo. I mean, Matt Walsh literally just looks like the Terran, like, for anyone who's a Star Trek nerd, they know this, like, the Terran Empire, like, this, like, it's basically just an alter ego of the fucking Federation. Like, that's just Matt Walsh in a nutshell. He looks like Mike Figueredo if he was, like, in the Terran Empire and just somehow got stuck in our universe. Like, it's stuck in our timeline instead. It's like, you son of a bitch, go back in your timeline.
Children's hospitals across the country have been receiving harassment and even threats of violence after right-wing propagandists have been...
Oh my god, someone already did. Okay, you know what? Fuck. We just started, but here. We're going to go do this really quick, and then we'll get back into this.
Down the Twitter acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. Up yours. Work moralist. We'll see who cancels who.
Well, I mean, it's not with Goku, but it's close. I'll give it a like for at least the effort. I'll give it a like for effort. I'll give it a like for the effort, at least. Not quite what I want. Yeah, it's not even what I was thinking it would be. I mean, I was hoping there would at least be a little bit of, like, motion instead of just a picture. Like, I'll give it a like for the effort, though. I'll give it a like for effort. You know, it tried. Whoever did that, they tried. They gave it a shot, and that's, you know, it's best what they got, you know. But at least maybe that might inspire one of the 437 plus people that has seen that now, you know, to potentially maybe, you know, make a better meme out of that. You know, so, you know, sometimes that's how memes start. Like, you know, maybe someone starts, you know, the meme not necessarily in, you know, great origins, but it just flourishes into a big flower of just amazingness, you know. So maybe that's what, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's like the meme already kind of did that in itself already, but, you know, someone needs to just, like, go into this subgenre of the meme and do it there. Anyway, let's get back into this.
Have been receiving harassment,
we know.
gender-affirming care that said children's hospitals provide to trans youth. Now, that resulted a couple of weeks ago in this. This is an August 17th headline from Vice.
Yeah, I remember some of this part.
Far-right extremists are threatening to execute...
Which basically... okay, wow. There was actually this amount of detail to it where, like... Okay, well, what?
At a children's hospital.
Why? Okay, like, I mean, I'm starting to, like... I know I bring up music a lot often, but, like, I mean, well, mainly Dead Kennedys lately, but, like, honestly, like, I mean, it's not even Dead Kennedys lately, but Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys, like, he has a solo project, Jello Biafra and the Guantanamo Bay School of Medicine, kind of a long, convoluted name, but either way. Like, he has a song called Taliban USA, and there's literally a part of the song where, Sell the Unborn, Kill the Young, and Doctors Hung. And it's just like, I mean, and there's another part of, and like the last little bit of the lyrics, where it's mentioning, it's like, yeah, you know, these pro-lifers, as much as they're, quote, pro-life, you know, and they're Taliban USA, they're also advocating for, you know, basically contracts hits and, you know, doctors and nurses are essentially, you know, part of the hit list, so to speak. You know, so, like, I mean, I was in 2019 like fucking 3 years ago. It's like before a lot of this shit was really fucking ramping up. Because like the closest it really got was I think his name was like Richard Paddock or whatever, a schizophrenic pro-life Christian fascist freak that literally thought that like he had visions of dead fetuses with their entrails literally lining the entire gates of fucking heaven, saying that he would be welcomed as a hero and a savior of them if he did the actions that he did, which was shoot up a fucking Planned Parenthood. And that was back in, I think, in 2013 or 2014, one of those years. It was one of the various different mass shootings that spiked up back in the early 2010s. I think it was shortly after like the whole gay marriage thing, and also I think shortly after that fucking like, you know, like this big hoopla and fucking fear mongering about Planned Parenthood and shit at the time. Nice and mentally sound. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I don't like. Here, I can like find the specifics of it. Here, let me go on Google really quick, just to let you know I'm not bullshitting. Because this like is all fucking true. I'm pretty sure his name is. Okay, it doesn't. Hold on. I bet I could just look it up if I did this. It is. Oh, it was in 2015. So, it was in Colorado Springs. Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it's the same case. Isn't it? Oh, his name is Robert Louis Deere Jr. That was his name. So I was wrong on his name. Richard Paddock, I think. Oh, I think that guy... Richard Paddock was the Las Vegas shooter. Alright, I was getting my names mixed up. But, yeah, his name is Robert Louis Deere. Had an SKS. And was arrested, charged, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, who gives a fuck about that? Perpetrator was getting to this. Divorce, curious. Declared independent and stand trial, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a fuck about that? Was arrested and convicted in Charleston for the unlawful carrying of a long blade knife and illegal possession of a loaded gun. So they already had problems back in 91. A woman who was married to Deere from 85 to 93 told NBC News that Deere had targeted Planned Parenthood clinic before, back in the 90s, by putting glue on its locks and had a history of violent behavior. Weird. Red flags, it sounds like. In the court document for their 93 divorce, his ex-wife said he claims to be a Christian and is extremely evangelicalistic, but does not follow the Bible in his action. Well, yes, he does, by the way. Just, I mean, I guess when it comes to, oh, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of fucking all caps going on down there. But, I mean, I guess when it comes to abortion, yes, he isn't. But when it comes to anything beyond that, yes, he is. He says as long as he believes he will be saved, he can do whatever he pleases. Yeah, it's pretty much every fucking Christian, and honestly, it does say that in the Bible. And it also says the exact opposite in the Bible, depending on how you cherry pick it. Deere wrote on marijuana internet forum, "Turn to Jesus or burn in hell. Wake up, sinners, you can't save yourself. You will die, and worms shall eat your flesh. Now your soul's going somewhere." He very mentally sound. He also posted notes on the same forum describing his own marijuana usage and stating that he was looking for some women to party with. He's deeply religious and conflicted, and that he likely targeted Clinton because of his abortion-related activities. Oh, he's dreaming. A New York Times also reported that a number of people who knew Mr. Diaz said he was a staunch abortion opponent. One person who spoke of him extensively about his religious views said that Mr. Deere had praised people who attacked abortion providers, saying they were doing God's work. In 2009, Deere described as heroes members of the Army of God, a loosely organized group of anti-abortion extremists that have claimed responsibility for a number of killings and bombings. So, yeah, very mentally sound people, by the way, just saying. But, yeah. I mean, it doesn't go into every single detail about that guy, but there's straight up, you know, like, a lot of fucking things about what he thought, you know, about his ideas of being a Christian and shit that were very fucking insane. And that's just the surface of it. Because usually Wikipedia is all, obviously, usually for the most part, scratches the surface on most things like that. But if you look into it, I mean, especially the whole thing about, like, dead fetuses and their entrails on, like, the gates of heaven and being praised by, and them praising him as the savior and all this other shit and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's true as well if you look into this motherfucker with Robert Lewis. Because that motherfucker was, as you could tell, psychopathic. And one of these people that, you know, since the fucking 90s. I mean, this shit's, like, you have motherfuckers who are far-right extremists, you know, threatening doctors, clinics, hospitals. This behavior is not new. I mean, it's only being ramped up because of the new fucking scaremongering about the shit like monkeypox and groomers and fucking pedophiles or whatever the fuck. You know, and all this shit amongst the LGBTQ, which all of it is fucking nonsense anyway. Honestly, dead baby fetuses wouldn't even be the scariest thing in heaven. It really wouldn't. It would be morbid, but it wouldn't even be that scary. It would just be more morbid than anything. Like, the angels and pretty much everything else about heaven would be more scary than the more, like, morbid, you know, shit. But either way, like, my point being, though, like, this whole far-right extremists threatening, and not just threatening, but also attacking and, you know, going as far as shooting up and bombing these fucking places and hospitals and clinics and Planned Parenthood clinics and so on, it's not new. It's, if anything, there's nothing new about it. It's just, it's being more ramped up and it's starting to become more to the sunlight at this point. Like, their actions are starting to be a lot more, normalized, at least when it comes to the vocality of it and their advocacy of it. And then you got fucking fascists, which, you know, we'll get into in a sec, I guess, you know, who want to demand apologies, you know, despite their advocacy and inciting of this shit. If they're in, which, you know, if you think about it too, by the way, before I read that comment, Bill O'Reilly, which Robert Louis Steer, the reason why he did a lot of that shit was because Bill O'Reilly was talking about, you know, a lot of the anti-abortion fucking shit at the time, and was being, like, the whole, like, Tiller the baby killer type of fucking shit and all this, which led to his fucking death because of that. Like, you have far-right fascists and far-right anti-abortion pro-death fucking freaks and shit that incite and advocate violence publicly and on national fucking wavelengths and stuff, internet or on TV or otherwise. And for the most part, they get to get away with it and shit. If anything, if you call them out, they will demand apologies for it. It's so, like, fucking two-faced and just, like, so insane how, like, thwarted and just, like, you know, like, ridiculous, you know, the whole, you know, like, the idea of tolerance or, you know, just, you know, law or, like, you know, the idea of who can get away with what, you know, is and shit. Like, people on the far right or anyone remotely to the fucking right can pretty much get away with whatever the fuck they want and be the criminal fucking trash thugs that they all are. But yet, when it comes to people who are even remotely, like, centrist or left otherwise and shit, better watch your tone, better watch what you say, or this or that, blah, 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 blah. Might get the cops on your ass really hard. I said the idea of an afterlife cheapens life. It does. It really does cheapen life. Because, like, oh, what's the point of improving my own life or improving the world around me when there's a greater, better utopia waiting once I'm dead? Like, it does. It fundamentally does. People want, 90% of people are cool if people want to live how they want. Yeah. I really do feel like, you know, most people around the world generally are like, I don't care how you live, just, for the most part, leave me alone, and as long as you're chill with me, I'm chill with you. And most people are usually like that. I mean, for the most part, because there's definitely people, like, you know, when, quote, push comes to shove when it comes to ideological differences, like, yeah, there's plenty of people I fundamentally disagree with on a lot of stuff, but I'm chill with, like, and, you know, I'm pretty cool with for the most part, like, but I can, you know, I could tell, and I know for, you know, a lot of those type of people, you know, there would just be shit I vehemently disagree with them with, but, and even, you know, in a lot of cases, maybe even, you know, vehemently disagree with most of what they believe, but they're so cool, they're still chill, and as long as they're chill with me, I don't really got any fundamental issue with them, but, like, if I definitely got something I don't like about what they have to say, you know, I'm gonna, you know, say something about it, but, like, I'm not gonna be like, you know, fuck you, you son of a bitch about it or whatever. Like, I'm still gonna be chill with them. Anyway, here, let me read this first one. If they were in heaven and afterlife, Would you have to die again in the first place? How are they dead? Did they die again? I know, yeah, like, for real. I mean, again, like, when it comes to religious evangelicalism and, you know, religious extremism on the level of Robert Louis Deere, it has no rationale. As being attracted to same-sex dressing the opposite gender is radical. I mean, it really isn't. But to a lot of these traditionalists and moral Puritans and a lot of these fucking Christian fascists and shit, yeah, it is. Scripturalists is one, they're just become more and more extreme, yeah. Queer people, when they're accessible online, they can't do anything about it. Yeah. Well, I mean, they try. I mean, it's not necessarily like, you know, yeah, for the most part, queer people have wanted acceptance. I would say that there's elements about queer people, like, you know, trans people or non-binary folk that, you know, still, you know, like, you know, need the fight and shit, you know, for a lot of their rights and stuff. But, you know, overall, fundamentally, especially right now, but, I mean, it's just because that, like, on a broader social level, on a cultural level, it's being normalized, and in a lot of ways it is. And for most people, they don't really give a shit. I mean, honestly, I definitely know people that aren't not exactly pro-trans, but, you know, I've hung out around people who, in my workplace, who are trans, and, you know, for the most part, don't really give a shit, because it doesn't affect them in the workplace. It doesn't affect them at all. It doesn't, like, has no real thing about it. Like, yeah, they have their anti-trans take about, like, oh, you know, that dude who's just, you know, kind of a chick, but it's actually a dude, blah, blah, blah. You know, they'll say that, but it's just like, I mean, beyond that, it's just like it has no fucking relevance at that point. It's just like they're just another, you know, another person, you know, but it's just like, I mean, while it's distasteful and I don't like it really when they're, you know, kind of murmuring that a bit, it's just because it's like, I mean, if they obviously are trying to be a woman and yet they're, you know, used to be a dude or whatever, then obviously they're trying to identify and want to be a woman. So just, I think it's self-explanatory to say, yes, woman. Yeah, do they, quote, not pass totally? Sure. Do I give a fuck? No. I couldn't care less. But for some people still, it does. Because frankly, it's just like, you know, for the coworkers that have mentioned that and will murmur stuff like that, like I mentioned, it's like, oh, you know that, you know, trans person that's like a dude, but, you know, kind of like a chick and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, for every time they, you know, mention that or whatever, it's like, how many motherfuckers and how many people have you helped as customers, or even as coworkers too, working with them, who are trans and never fucking knew about it? You know, it's just like the one rare case or the one instance you find someone who, quote, doesn't pass. It's just like, oh, now it's a problem. It's like, fuck off. Like, who cares, you know? I mean, that's how I feel about it at the end of the day, but it's like, especially with the coworkers, like, obviously I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be like, I mean, you know, I'll just be like, hey, I mean, I don't know, if they're, you know, if they identify as a woman, that's how they're trying to present themselves, and I don't know. I mean, they're a chick to me. You know, so that's just how I'm usually about it. I just gotta play it off. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, why do you fucking care? Like, oh, you know, because they happen to look a little bit more, quote, masculine or something. It's like, fuck off. Who cares? It's like, they're not gonna try to, like, flirt with you or something, or try to, like, get in your pants or whatever the fuck. Like, good lord. But that's like some of the fear about it for some of these people. It's because they think, oh, they're trans, thus they probably don't have surgery, thus, you know, I'm still gonna have a dick down there or something like that. It's just like, I mean, how's that a problem? Like, hey, if someone's trans and you probably don't want to take that risk, then just say, hey, I'm just personally not interested then, you know? If you happen to find someone attractive but realize trans, like, oh, well, I'm just not interested then. Because if you have a weird thing about, uh-oh, there might be a dick under there or some shit, or vice versa, it's like, I mean, at that point, that's just a you problem. But, I mean, if it's at least a preference, or just like, hey, I just don't want to take the gamble, then I can get it, but still, it's just like, for fuck's sake, I mean, like, get over it. Can be pretty hot, not my thing, but a lot of straight guys like trans women. That's the thing, too. Like, there are, like, and honestly, some of the, not all of them, of course, but there are some of those same straight dudes that are vehemently transphobic, but yet secretly love the idea of a woman still having, you know, their dick and shit, basically. You know, a chick dick, basically. You know, essentially. You know, it's like there's so many dudes that love that. I mean, you know, it's just like, honestly, I do too, but that's just because I don't really give a fuck about how, like, the pairings of packages, you know, to human, you know, form. Like, if there's, like, a dick, but, you know, some titties up here, I don't care. If there's, like, basically an all-male form, but there's a pussy down there, I don't give a fuck. I literally don't give a shit. I basically give a shit enough to be like, what package am I working with? And that's about as far as it goes. Like, at least for me. And honestly, that's how it should be. It's like, hey, if you have your personal preferences on what you want, then fine. But, like, fuck off if you don't, you know, like a certain thing. You're not exposed to it forever. It's like, oh no, if you don't like a thing, then don't be exposed to it. Pretty simple. I don't like feet fetish shit or some, you know, whatever the fuck. Do I expose myself to it? No. Because it ain't my thing. You know, it's like, fuck. You know, it's like self-explanatory shit. Like, even if I wasn't into, like, you know, trans people or, you know, like, the idea of transgenderism, you know, even with just my sheer, like, libertarian aspect of, like, just do as thou wilt, I still don't give a fuck, because I feel that same way for shit I even think it's just fucking weird. Like, you know, the adult babies, for example, like, you know, adults that still kind of, you know, delve into, like baby stuff or whatever the fuck. It's like, that shit is honestly, frankly, just not only weird, but really, honestly, frankly, fucking creepy. But there are people that are into it, and it's consensual, and it's all adults. There's literally, like, no kids involved or anything like that. It's, you know, an all adult thing, and it's just like, it's so weird. I don't know why people are into it. I don't get it. It's just really fucking weird to me. But do as thou will, whatever. As long as it's adults and everyone's consenting to it, I don't give a shit. Just don't have me involved. Don't tell me about it, you know? It's like, I don't need to know, you know what I mean? It's like, but I don't got a problem with you directly because of that. I just don't want to know about that part of you, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. Okay, cool. Nice. Then shut up about it. What did you do? What if I give a girl, right? Yeah. And what if they undress and they have a huge dick? Then you don't have to. What if I want to suck it? What if? What if it makes me gay? I don't know. How do I respond to that? I mean, for real. I mean, honestly, just, to its core, to its root, it's really fundamentally because so many of these people, especially on the far right with this shit, have such an insecurity and fear about, like, exploring the unknown, and, you know, and a lot of that, especially pertaining to their identity or their sexuality, because they were either taught or ingrained or or fucking brainwashed or whatever the fuck, or convinced, you know, in their own head that, like, acting this way in a very hyper puritanically traditionalist mindset is, you know, like, what leads to success and, you know, a better life or whatever the fuck do you think. And yet they still know deep down inside that they're not happy, and they're fucking angry, and they fucking feel insecure still and everything else, but they can't quite fucking figure it out. But they've been taught to, you know, be fearful of the unknown and shit. Especially when it comes to, you know, their own identity and how they ought to act when it comes to, like, the whole, like, feminine, you know, masculine, male, female, like, you know, and all that shit, you know. It's just like, I mean, because of how much it's so ingrained, they just fear being, you know, anything that might be remotely outside of that perspective. I mean, it's just like, it just really fundamentally makes them, and now, especially these days, look like the biggest fucking pussy-ass snowflake little bitches. I mean, it's like, and they used to cry about how, like, all the SGWs and the people who are woke were all fucking whiny and bitchy little babies. But it's like, really? It was always you. It was always you, people. You being all crying and whining because, you know, people are, like, normalizing, you know, the idea of maybe exploring outside of your little box you've, you know, forced yourself into in a tiny little cage, and you're all, like, crunched up in there, you know, freaking out to get out, but at the same time, you're Stockholm Syndrome into thinking you should stay in there. It's like, they ain't our problem. It's not my problem, it ain't anyone else's problem, it's yours, but yet you want to make it everyone else's issue. If I can force society to, you know, bend to that cage and force everyone to be in that same cage with you. It's like, hey, there's not even enough room for you, and yet you want everyone else to be in there with you. It's like, fuck off. Anyway, massive stun lock, but here.
So TikTok promoted a lie about gender-affirming care at the hospital, and now doctors are getting death threats. Now, Lips of TikTok was
Venom. I think everyone should have to suck a dick once. God damn it. I mean, I don't think everyone should have to do that. I mean, if they're curious about it, if like the thought in their mind was like, what would it be like to suck a dick? I mean, at that point, sure, but beyond that, no one has any say about it. It's insanity to begin with. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because everyone's individual sexuality is like, I mean, different from the next, really, at the end of the day. So, because, I mean, especially because of that and how relative it is, like, no one should have a fundamental say about, sexuality outside of the basic right to protect, your right to express your sexuality. I mean, within reason, of course. Obviously, you don't want to express sexuality out in public where fucking, you're literally, like, spadorking a, like, body pillow or some shit and fucking, in the middle of the street or whatever the fuck, and having, like, a group sesh orgy in the middle of, like, the park or whatever. Like, obviously, it's within reason, but at the end of the day, like, the basic right of protection of your own sexuality and sexual autonomy, needs to be necessary. Especially when you got, like, fucking moral, crazy fucking Christian Puritans, running around trying to legislate that away.
Twitter for doing just that, and they didn't just...
I kind of think public access is kind of hot. I mean, fulsome pride, baby. There you go. Like, I think, if there's, like, a event where, hey, it is specifically an 18+ event where, yeah, there will likely be, like, some sex shit going on, like, like Folsom Pride or Stonewall, for example, like, sure. Like, I mean, I'm not against it either, myself, personally, but, again, that's why I said within reason. It's like there's context and I think, lines in the sand, obviously, when it comes to that. But beyond that, as long as there's consent and do as thou wilt with that in mind, I don't give a shit, And also, especially if it's mainly with other adults and that consent, like, beyond, like, because that's really the only line you got going on there. Anything beyond that, I'm going to start very heavily questioning you and judging you very significantly, very severely.
At multiple hospitals. But even after being suspended, as Media Matters reports, the owner of the Lips of TikTok account, Chaya Rychik, is vowing to continue targeting...
Could someone fucking just find, like, I mean, could someone just, like, how has no one found out what fucking cunt, this fucking Lips of TikTok is yet? Like, because Jesus Christ, holy shit, like, I mean, the amount of, like, thoughts I have in my mind about what this cunt in her fucking, like, house, can have done to it. I'll take Paul Zigo's, like, Onion Nuggets quote of the day. Dealt with. Just needs to be dealt with, It's nice and vague, but also nice and stern. Lips of TikTok just needs to be dealt with. Yeah, I like that. Just interpret that how you will. Probably the same as mine.
Over. Now, even though the Libs of TikTok account specifically instigated all of this and started this campaign, Chaya Rychik did not act alone because right-wing propagandist Matt Walsh also joined in and directly incited harassment against the Boston Children's Hospital. Here's a clip that we played on the program from
Remember you since you're drinking? I got a fucking, like, bacon sandwich here that, I've been waiting, actually, to fucking have open for this occasion. I mean... I have it, right here, but I'm not gonna eat it right now quite yet, but hey, this bitch will be smacked down. And you'll see the gloriousness of what I can make at a deli when it comes to sandwiches. Subway ain't got nothing on this bitch, just saying.
He says
you don't even get to see what it is yet. You
don't
even get to tell.
Hospital, followed by what happened just a couple of days later after he made those claims.
Children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston...
Literally, oh my god, I forgot how fucking much of a lie, all that was. But yeah, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, maybe instead of... never mind. Never mind. I was probably gonna vent off about something that would probably not be good. Get dealt with, Matt Walsh. Just be dealt with already.
Ever been born or will ever be born is trans. Now, if it seems like they're casting the widest...
Wait, what? Huh?
At Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans.
No one has ever said that, you stupid fuck. Literally no one ever, like, no one says that. No one thinks that, you stupid, moronic, fucking shit-stained, alter ego, fucking Mike Figueredo, fascist piece of shit. You fucking Nazi piece of fuck. Like, literally no one thinks that. Like, I mean, there's a potentiality for, you know, like a fetus before they're born to be trans, but that's it. It's a potentiality. Like, I mean, just that it, just as much as there's a potentiality for them to potentially be, like, gay or bisexual or maybe a little bit more feminine, but yet straight nonetheless, or maybe, you know, very, like, hypermasculine but very gay, you know, either way. Like, I mean, there's potentiality for their development when it comes to their own identity to go whichever fucking way. You know, just on the virtue of them developing in the womb. Does that mean that they are immediately going to be trans or this or that or whatever the fuck? No. I mean, because there's still other potential variables when they're developing from, you know, being a newborn from toddlerhood as a child and so on that, you know, can play a role into whether, you know, they may be, like, you know, homosexual or not or otherwise and shit. But usually, like, most of, like, the, you know, aspects of if you're gay or trans or otherwise usually is, like, by the womb and stuff. Like, usually that's when a lot of that starts coming heavily into play. Like, it's predetermined, you know, what your sexuality is or what your identity would be. You know, are you telling me that a conservative made up something that isn't true? Is it really good that I'm sitting down because I'm feeling lightheaded? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because, you know, the idea that, like, you know, conservatives are making up shit, you know, to fit their agenda? I mean, that just sounds like a bunch of cockamamie bullshit. They're very, you know, 100% about facts over feelings, you know what I mean?
Casting the widest imaginable net in order to catch the most children they can and put them all on a path to sterilization and butchery before they can even talk? Well, that's because that's exactly what these monsters are doing.
And by the way, that's also the exact same type of talking points and same rhetoric that Jordan Peterson uses, because these are what these new fucking neo-Nazis, you know, like to use as a way to dog whistle their shit at this point. Like, this is like the neo, like, Nazi eugenics at this rate, like, where they think, you know, fucking transgenderism is like a false pseudoscience, like the old school Jewish science rhetoric and shit, where, like, a lot of this LGBTQ queer element of science is basically just the old school Nazi Jew science and shit, basically, you know, in their minds. Like, you know, obviously they can't necessarily, you know, go straight, you know, for the whole Jew thing, because you got motherfuckers like Ben Shapiro and a lot of fucking lobbyists and billionaire fucks that either are Jewish themselves or happen to be lobbied and funded by a lot of Jewish lobbyists like AIPAC as well anyway. So, you know, that's not going to be the biggest thing anyway, because, like, Israel's fucking, you know, like, governmental, like, money funneling into the U.S. is just ridiculous. Like, I mean, that, like, it's pretty much, like, common knowledge for a lot of people. Not being a weird-ass Nazi saying that Jews in Israel literally run every single fucking thing in the world, like, that's just outright insane and ridiculous. But there's definitely something to be said that, you know, when it comes to a lot of the Zionistic lobbying money, you know, and lobbying dollars, when it comes to hyper-Zionistic ideology, especially that's very predominantly uplifted from the Israeli government, because the Israeli government operates on a very hyper-Zionistic philosophy. Like, I mean, it all just kind of goes right in the same hand. And I don't know if I'm going to be out here by 2025. Oh my... Yeah, but, like, by 2025, I mean, it's, like, it's only 22 right now. So it's just, like... I mean, I don't know, dude. I think you'll be alright, dude. I know, like, you'll be out there before DeSantis or Trump or any other fucking weird far-right freak, you know, has any way to have any power. At least when it comes to, you know, being there. At least in Oregon, your shit would at least be more protected, because we'll have governors and senators, you know, in the state, and Congress people within the state, House and legislator and shit like that, that aren't fucking crazy and insane, at least not entirely. So.
Up until this moment, without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why
Yeah, can we stop making it... Yeah, honestly, that's the one thing that I agree with you on, Matt Walsh, but not for the reasons you think of, motherfucker. Like, can we stop making it so easy on fuckers like you? Can we stop making it so easy for you to propagate your fucking violence and your bullshit and your fucking spew and your sewage? You fucking rat. It's like, I mean, it's one thing for rats to, start running out of sewers. Another thing for them to literally be fucking puking out the sewage themselves. Matt Walsh needs to be dealt with. Yeah, this motherfucker needs to be dealt with hardcore. I mean, it's just the gulag, the mines. I don't even think that would be enough. Like, like a life's journey within the fucking gulag mines wouldn't even be enough to fucking, vindicate his crimes against fucking society. Like, Jesus Christ. And, like, the planet itself, just considering how much of an insult and a fucking, like, embarrassment he is to existence within it itself as a concept. Like, I mean, I would, do a certain thing, that probably you can, I don't know, you could probably make an idea, about what that probably, motions a little bit, with what Matt Walsh, could probably receive, just like, a little bit like that, something like that, I don't know, yeah. Maybe, a little something long range, too, like, a little, gotta get a little twist into it, actually, you know what I'm saying, Yeah. Something like that.
To organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil.
Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. The Gay Mafia. Dude, if this was a band, I would totally... Is that Ben Shapiro? Yeah, is that Ben Shapiro? I would totally fucking watch... I'd totally see that band, bro. Dude, that should be a punk band name, honestly, dude. The Gay Mafia. Honestly... Fucking Harley, bro, dude. Stefan, Rip City literally gave you a map of 7-Elevens in Seattle, and you say you accidentally found a 7-Eleven, Harley. You're so high on mushrooms, it's insane. Accidentally found a 7-Eleven, my guy. Oh my god, bro. Harley's great, dude. I love him. He's such a loud, rambunctious motherfucker when he's here, and then, like, the text messages when he's on shrooms, bro. This is why I love him, bro. Like, that's why he's... I mean, that's kind of why he's not just, like, a bro, but, like, bro bennies, but, Because he's a fucking cute, silly little fucking dork ball, dude. And kind of a twink. Anyway.
Where do we begin? Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
Boston Children's Hospital.
How about we start with your fucking, like, wherever your studio is, you filthy bastard.
Says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation.
Can, like, the fucking House of Libs of TikTok and Matt Walsh, be the victims of shit like this? Like, I mean, again, quit playing soft as bitches. Like, how about, it's like, can we stop, being nice and, playing soft or whatever? It's like, yeah, Matt Walsh, how about we stop doing that with people like you? It's like, God, I mean, fuck. If you all have a meltdown over fucking Mar-a-Lago, Jesus Christ, I mean... Imagine if it happened directly to you, you all be like, oh yes, please sir, yeah, don't hurt me. Yeah, it's just like, give me a break, all fucking macho and shit when your dear leader fucking gets hit. But when it happens to you, you're gonna fucking be cowering with your tails between your fucking legs, pussy.
They perform gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures for anyone under the age of 18. Boston Children's Hospital says...
Literally no one does. Like, trans-affirming surgeries, especially when it comes to genital surgeries, do not happen until you're 18 or over. Like, that fucking disinformational, like, violent, inciting fucking bullshit is just ridiculous. It needs to just, every time it's fucking mentioned, needs to be immediately shut down and mentioned that, because... No fucking doctor, no hospital, nowhere in this fucking... or anywhere on this fucking planet. Unless you're some fucking far-right religious extremist doing genital torture and mutilation on your fucking toddlers and shit, cutting off their fucking foreskin, or extra labia flaps on the fucking, for girls and shit, too, when it comes to female genital mutilation, or female circumcision. I mean, it's just like, because that type of shit is totally fine and A-okay, but, like, and that's totally, acceptable, even when it comes to just, like, basic, circumcision when it comes to, boys and shit. Like, that's all fine. When it comes to genital surgery, that is okay procedures. But beyond that, nothing ever happens down there when it comes to a child. Outside of the acceptance and normalization of the religious extremism and the religious crime of fucking genital torture and genital mutilation. Because that's been so fucking normalized within society. And all, not just here, but all over the place and shit, outside of practically fucking Europe at this point. But it's just like, I mean, it's like, there's just like no, it's just like, it's a whatever type of thing. And honestly, not me personally, but I know plenty of fucking dudes that are just like, yo, it's fucked up that, I was cut and shit. Like, for me, I don't really give a fuck at this point, but, like, a lot of dudes don't feel that way. They feel insecure at the fact that they were circumcised. And, on a certain extent, I feel them, and I agree with that, and they're valid in feeling that way, because it shows that, like, circumcision is just another form of genital mutilation and genital torture on a child, regardless of how fucking old they are. Because just like, when it comes to transgenital surgery, circumcision should be something that's only done 18 and fucking over. Because, like, if doctors and nurses aren't even allowed to do so when it, like when it comes to genital surgeries on children for, trans surgeries, then it shouldn't be the fucking case for circumcision either, period. And any fucking religious institution, like, like I know, especially in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities, that, in places like in New York, for example, they do shit like this still. And there's synagogues, too, where they'll, like, snip them off there and literally suck the blood out of their fucking, the recently cut, fucking foreskin and shit to, like, keep it from blooding and, bleeding out, basically, and help clotting the, whatever the weird fucking pedophilic, weird, ritualistic, fucking disgusting shit it is. Bad choice, I would have kept. Yeah, same here, honestly. I mean, just because, like, the only reason why it gets all fucked up down there if you're uncut is because you just don't have good hygiene and shit. Like, as long as you keep it clean down there, you're good. I mean, even if you aren't cut, like, that's also a misnomer anyway. It's just like, even if you are cut and shit, like I am, it's like, things can get funky if you don't keep shit, kept up down there. I mean, just straight up. Like, like, no matter what, you gotta keep shit, kept up down there. Anything involving sucking baby dick blood should not be legal. Exactly. And yet, when it comes to religious rituals and shit, and ritual, events, when it comes to religion, regardless if it's Christian, Judaic, Islamic, or otherwise, it's totally fine. It's just acceptable. And it's just like, oh, that's just how it is. Like this very hippy-dippy, like, cultural relativistic fucking mindset, just like reverberates, for people when it comes to this shit. It's like, no. Like, fuck, like, what? Like, excuse me? Honestly, at least for my case specifically, it wasn't even necessarily a fucking choice. The doctors just did it, just because it was that fucking normalized, around the time. At least for, that doctor that, was there for my birthing procedure. Because, because neither of my parents were consoled with it. Like, I'm pretty sure my mom probably would have said yes, but my dad, I have a feeling he probably would have too. But he's mentioned before that the doctor just did it anyway because he was never consoled about it, and never mentioned or anything to it, or anything. Like, it was just done. So, it's like, even, sometimes, even in certain cases, when it comes to, like, circumcision and shit, or just, I'm just, from here on out, just gonna call it genital mutilation. But when it comes to, like, genital mutilation, in those cases, like, sometimes, like, parents aren't even fucking, like, referred or consoled at all. Because there'll be cases where parents probably don't necessarily want that to happen and just want their kid to have it, just, you know, just let them decide, basically. But the doctor will say, nah, and we'll just do it anyway. You know, like for my case, you know, because honestly, you know, for me personally, I wouldn't really give I really don't care. Like, you know, if I'm cut, uncut, it don't matter to me. Like, I mean, you know, it's like same way if I felt like if I had different, you know, like physical, biological sex, you know, organs and shit, like I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I'm pretty comfortable with how I am, and I would be comfortable being, you know, different, you know, and, you know, just because, you know, it's whatever, you know, to me, at least in my mind. But either way, it's just like this type of shit that's just so hyper normalized, you know, when it comes to genital mutilation is just fucking ridiculous. And yet, you know, the biggest fucking hoopla from the biggest proponents of that type of shit want to freak out that, like, oh, you know, the whole LGBT queer trans science of this element of, like, oh, you know, maybe, you know, trans surgeries, you know, for kids who are growing up to be trans and shit, you know, is like being a major thing, you know, which, one, it isn't, and two, even if it was the case, like, it would be more of like a thing of discussion and study to see is like, would there be merit to something like that, you know, in this case, you know, versus actually doing it. Because unless there is legitimate, like, medical merit, you know, at this case, I mean, it just would not fucking happen. But there is medical merit as long as you normalize, curiously enough, trans people in their development and their upbringing and allow them to take like hormonal blockers and take HRT and dress how they wish, you know, when it comes to how they want to present themselves, amongst other things, when it comes to social transition, and at least in some case, you know, hormonal, and at least in some other aspects, you know, body transitions and shit before surgery, then it's not really that big of a fucking deal when they're 18 anyway, because it's that much easier and that much more of quote-unquote passing of a surgery at the end of the day when they get it. Oh, that's hilarious. I know, dude. I didn't even read that one yet. Like, I mean, we'll catch up with him in a second. Well, first thing I do with vagina is masturbate. Same here, honestly. Just to see how that felt, and then I'd probably do that with, like, all the dildos. I'm just gonna be honest. Just so, frankly, I could just kind of, like, how does it feel? And then, you know, at that point, yeah, like, I'm just gonna have fun with it, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll get bored after a while and just get used to it and just, you know, be there, you know, so, I mean, it's not like I'd be, like, locked in my room for weeks on end just playing with it, you know what I mean? I mean, I probably would for, like, a couple days, but beyond that, like, you know, I'd get used to it, be like, alright, I know how it works.
Pediatric and adolescent transgender health program in the United States. The hospital now is working with law enforcement to try to better protect its staff in the face of these lies.
So this is very clearly stochastic terrorism, and it hasn't stopped. After doctors received death threats, they haven't stopped targeting doctors individually or different children's hospitals. And now it's all...
Where it's good for guys, but I was good. Well, that's why I'm a switch.
All culminated in this. On August 30th, police set up a perimeter around Boston Children's Hospital after a bomb threat was called in. The building had to be swept, according to NBC 10 Boston.
Wow, so the corrupt-ass, shitty fucking police that is known as the Boston Police fucking actually did a good thing for once in their entire existence of being a police department and actually protected a fucking hospital. Wow. I'm actually surprised that they actually did something meaningful as a police department, but the fact that, like, that has to be the case in the first place because of these fucking far-right, you know, stochastic, terroristic, fascist motherfuckers and shit is just, like, an indictment not on, you know, the fact that, you know, like, oh, well, this whole, like, culture wars happening. Blah, blah, blah. It's an indictment on these fucking far-right motherfuckers who are literally, it's so unhinged, to the point that they think, trying to attack hospitals and doctors and nurses is how they, justifiably they can go and combat this whole culture war that they claim is a fucking problem in the first place.
Details NBC News reports the hospital said it is working with law enforcement and outside experts after it received the anonymous bomb threat, and it moved quickly to protect patients and employees. Quote, "We are relieved no bomb was found and that employees and patients are safe," it said. "We remain vigilant in our efforts to battle the spread of false information."
I mean, because likely, honestly, there wasn't an actual bomb or anything like that. It was just some dumb fuck motherfucker who's threatening it. And frankly, these type of people need to be, like, cracked down on. They're not even, like, hey, the police is outside. Like, literally, like, their fucking doors broken in, smashed the fuck in, and just locked in, just, like, immediately tied up and fucking, hog-tied, and fucking just locked away with the key thrown out. Like, because these motherfuckers, are trying to, like, go after, like, the one, like, group of people that are essentially, like, the most, like, incentivized and, like, the most, like, prioritized and trying to protect life. It's like, I mean, what? That in itself is just, like, fucking crazy, in my mind. I mean, it's like, even if you think, like, that is, like, oh, this shit is happening, it's like, oh, like, let's say you get fucking shot up by, like, the FBI or, like, the fucking cops and shit because your wise ass, decides to do a Robert Louis Deer 2 Electric Boogaloo or whatever the fuck. It's just like, well, guess what? You're going to be going likely into the same fucking hospital you're trying to, kill off and shit. And frankly, you really think that incentive of, like, hey, we have to, like, protect life first and foremost? You really think those doctors that you try to kill are going to do that for you? If anything, they'll probably give you the wrong opioid to make sure that you're numb to the pain and you accidentally OD on it and well, oops. Like, they probably got the medical grade fucking blues and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably got that medical grade fent. So they'll probably just, oops, we thought that was morphine. Our bad. I guess he croaked and OD'd. And we forgot to give him, the drugs to make sure that, he doesn't OD and stuff, to, get him out of an overdose, we forgot to do that, too, because we didn't have anyone looking over him because we thought he was okay. Oops, our bad. Too bad, so sad. If only he didn't try to shoot at us with AR-15s and blow our fucking hospital up with fucking pipe bombs.
To ensuring the hospital is a safe and secure place for all who work here.
Persecution being prosecuted! Okay, buddy, just enjoy your pill putting. It's pistachio. You like pistachio, right? Here comes the airplane. Plane noises.
We'll provide additional information as we are able. The Boston Police Department said it sent in a bomb squad to the Children's Medical Center at about 8:14 p.m., but no suspicious items were recovered or located. Quote, "It's still an active investigation," Detective John Boyle said by phone Wednesday morning. Now, thankfully, the bomb threat turned out to be false. But it's not like no harm was done. And one story in particular illustrates how harmful this was. So one woman named Patricia MacArthur Dovell, she was forced to leave the hospital while they were doing the bomb sweep. And she explains how she was really scared because she had to leave her baby in the newborn intensive care unit. Couldn't take the baby out. So ask yourself this question. How many surgeries...
I mean, that definitely sounds like a good idea to, like... have a baby unattended, but obviously you don't really have much of a choice, when it comes to a situation like this. So, Cop, do you fucking mind? Can I help you?
How many parents had to leave their children in their hospital rooms because they couldn't be disconnected from life-saving machines?
And also, like, I mean, like, I would hope that at least, like, the staff were probably still there to make sure that the babies were at least, like, I don't know, kept up with. I mean, basically, like, this basically is like, had, like, a bunch of newborns just abandoned for, like, a few hours. Like, what the fuck? We haven't even gotten to Matt Walsh's fucking, like, oh, you need a bone. We haven't even gotten to this. Oh, my God. Oh, dude, when that pops up. Oh, my...
harm did this actually cause? Because right-wing propagandists like Lips of TikTok and Matt Walsh worked their supporters into a frenzy, thinking that this hospital was actually doing harm.
Just like they did with, like Bill O'Reilly did when he came to, Dr. Tiller, the baby killer, or whatever the fuck. I mean, same shit, just different fucking commentators.
No, actually, they're helping children. That's what they're there to do. And now, not only are you stoking harassment and violence against the hospital staff, but you're disrupting procedures, separating parents from their children. So you might ask yourself, well, is Matt Walsh going to come out and say, all right, this has gone too far. I understand that we're all concerned, but perhaps the best way to carry out our anti-trans agenda isn't necessarily targeting literal children's hospitals. Well, no, that's not what he's saying. In fact, he is demanding an apology from the left for daring to blame him for the violence that he stoked against the Boston Children's Hospital. He writes via Twitter, last night thousands...
Oh, it's not a video? Fuck. You coward little bitch fucking cunt. Last night, thousands of idiot leftists... whatever. Were absurdly blaming me and Libs of TikTok for bomb threats at Boston Children's. Today, the story has disappeared because police quickly determined the whole thing was a false alarm. I don't expect you'll get any apologies, though. Yeah, you won't. You know what? Yeah, actually, I do, apologize to you, Matt Walsh. I apologize that, you have to exist in a world where everyone has to look at you with sheer fucking embarrassment and have to look at you and realize that goddamn humanity can stoop to such a low that you are pretty much the embodiment of everything that is low about it. Like, I mean, it's like, I am sorry that, like, humanity has to, like, look at you with sheer, and, like, the rest of this fucking planet and everything alive on it has to look at you with nothing but sheer fucking embarrassment. I'm sorry that the rest of everything, around you that's alive has to look at you with fucking disgust. Like, I'm sorry you have to exist to experience such fucking, disparity there, Matt Walsh, you fucking little rat cocksucker. Because you'd be doing so many people and so many motherfuckers, and so much life on this fucking planet, justice and fucking favors, if you were just, to steal the words of Paul Zigo, dealt with.
Were absurdly blaming me and Lips of TikTok for a bomb.
Go fuck yourself, you worthless little parasitical rat dog, little fucking amoebic little pissant parasite.
Children's. Today, the story has disappeared because police quickly determined the whole thing was a false alarm. I don't expect we'll get any apologies, though. Hang on a second. You inspired a bomb threat. Fake or real, either way, that's harassment. Calling in a bomb threat is a form of terrorism. But yet, because there was no bomb that was found...
Okay, Mike took the words out of my mouth. He was saying it's harassment. It's like, dude, that's literally like a terrorist threat, but then he said it. I was like, okay, cool. He said it.
Expecting other people to apologize to you? I mean... He's deranged. Matt Walsh is actually deranged.
I mean, what do you expect from a fucking fascist?
He continues, I would like to know what false alarm means exactly. Police are being coy about it.
I mean, it means that when someone threats, fucking violence and shit, like a fucking bomb threat, and people go investigate that, like law enforcement, and see that there was nothing found because it was merely a threat. That's what a false alarm is, you actual fucking retarded, amoebic, little worthless, fascistic, parasitical, fucking manlet little bitch. Like, I wouldn't even fucking, like, give you the dignity to get hate fucked by Bubba.
It's an ongoing investigation, you fucking dipshit. Plenty of reason to wonder whether false alarm really means a leftist hoax. Of course, certainly lots of precedent for that.
Oh, just like how many far-right fascist hoaxes have been propped up left and right every fucking goddamn day, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ, you fucking worthless fuck. Who's Bubba? The guy that, has fun with you when you drop the soap in prison.
Really a threat but no bomb, they wouldn't call it a false alarm, and they would...
That's literally what a false alarm is. You actually... Oh my god.
...on the culprit. Clearing the scene in 2 hours and calling it a false alarm almost certainly means there was no threat at all. Which...
Oh, him. I just like that response. Oh, him.
I just read more of the details. Police arrived on the scene at 9:20 and had it cleared by 10 p.m. 40 minutes, becoming increasingly clear there was never any threat.
Yeah, I mean, luckily there wasn't there, Matt. Yeah, luckily there wasn't. But yeah, they have 40 minutes of sweeping the entire hospital premise and the property of the hospital and shit, or the premises of the hospital, and then, sweeping the entire fucking property and making sure there's nothing. Yeah, it doesn't take too fucking long to, like, sweep an entire fucking hospital and shit to make sure there's nothing unusual or whatever. Because, yeah, when it comes to a bomb threat, yeah, that is taken seriously, and they will fucking investigate that, and if nothing comes of it, then yes, that is called a false alarm, you actual amoebic fucking goddamn algae brain motherfucker. You know what, I shouldn't even make fun of algae like that, because algae has more intelligence than Matt Walsh ever could have in his fucking thumb, let alone the rest of his fucking body.
Happen if they end up getting somebody killed because of their rhetoric. Well,
they will.
They're just going to either claim it was a false flag or blame the left. They will never take responsibility for their stochastic terrorism.
And Bill O'Reilly never did when it came to his violence incitement of stochastic terrorism when it comes to Dr. Tiller. I mean, like, they never do. I'm serious, if he starts getting threats to someone, they say he want to blow up his house, he has no right to complain about it. I'm not sure he will. Oh, of course he will. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it's a two-way street with this motherfucker. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, obviously, doing bomb threats is bad, and you should never do that. But, like, if he were, YouTube, if he were to get, bomb threats, incited towards him, due to potential lefties, using stochastic terrorism against him in this way, Matt Walsh has no fucking right to bitch and moan or complain, about, people fucking, trying to incite violence and shit like that against him. Like, nope, you got no fucking right. And if you're gonna try to demand apologies or fucking, onus or whatever the fuck and try to divert the blame and shit, it's like, nah, fuck you. Like, even in that case, I won't even call you a fucking victim, bitch.
Me that he has this surprised Pikachu face after, for weeks, helping to spearhead this campaign against children's hospitals. And we're not just talking about individual hospitals. Like, Matt Walsh has been sharing the names of doctors and their pictures, saying that they're butchering trans children. It's genuinely stochastic terrorism, and now that somebody
Why can't Swans ever to people having to like him? Well, because, I mean, good things don't happen to fucking bad people and shit when it comes to, like, justice in a sense like this. Or Schadenfreude. I mean, it's just like, like, nothing ever, comes, from these motherfuckers actually, getting this type of shit. I guess Tim Pool, I suppose, but... I mean, cops are so used to, swatting him that they don't even really, like, fucking... like, there's, like, a whole procedure of his ass. Like, oh, yeah, we're swatting you again. Alright, well, here, we'll open up the gate. Here's the studio, and blah, blah, blah. He's on the left, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I mean, he gets it so often the cops are just used to it. But, I mean, it's just, like, beyond that, like, fuck. I wish... Because honestly, there's been cases where swatting have, like, straight up just killed people and stuff, and it's like, oh my god. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because, like, swatting is such a fucking, dangerous thing and needs to be illegal if it really... I mean, it already kind of is in itself, but it's never enforced. But, like, Jesus Christ. A tree falling in his house. Yeah, seriously. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ugh. So, I was thinking about playing a little further, but the pipe ain't leaking. So call me, sweet baby. Go through. Little boy. Little goofball. Well. Maybe we convince him that through God he can walk on lava. Dude, honestly, for real though. I mean, I mean, give him enough convincing. If we could convince his base, he would be convinced. As long as we could get sports to be like, yo, we believe, we know through God that you can walk on water, man. We want you to prove it to us. We want you to show us, because we know for the will of God. You might be like, why don't you do it? See, I would, Matt, but it takes someone special, someone truly connected with God. I'm just not there yet. He's told me that it takes the right one, and you're the one.
To further harass and intimidate the hospital because it was a false alarm, while he's claiming that, no harm was done here. Except I just told you the harm that was done. Even if it was a false alarm, that disrupted operations at this hospital, which is trying to save children's lives, treat cancer patients, do surgeries on children. And because you have an agenda to push and you want to monetize transphobia, you're making it seem as if this hospital is a danger to children when the opposite is true. And now, when things escalate even further because of your rhetoric, you're claiming that an apology is owed to you. No, you owe the hospital staff an apology. But he's not.
I mean, he owes them, well, he owes them the schadenfreude of basically having their head having his head smashed in concrete, basically. I mean, I'm not saying that, anyone should do that, or I'm advocating that. I'm not doing that at all. But I'm just saying, he would be doing the hospital a lot of favors if he just did that, hell, he could do it to himself. I suppose, hey, if Matt Walsh, if you yourself wish to do that, take, some bricks, some concrete bricks, and just, smash your own head, up against it, with your own body, then, it's nobody else is, doing the violence to you. It's just yourself, so it's just can't get me for that, you two. I'm literally playing with it so hard. I'm on, the fucking tripwire over the goddamn Grand Canyon right now. I think I'm gonna stop playing around with that. Let's get a fucking cleanser from this worthless fucking fascist piglet. I mean, considering that, Matt Walsh literally is just, the fascist Terran Empire version of Mike Figueredo, it's just, I find it a little unnerving that they have that similarity going on. Glasses, beard, short hair, God, that's fuck, dude. I joke, but I feel like it's not far off from being delusional enough to actually attempt something like that. If Matt could stand at construction site during a hurricane, it might solve problems. Yeah, I feel like it would. What's this? Victoria 3? What is this? It's a video game, isn't it?
It was the best of times.
And it was the worst of times. A steam engine.
It was the worst of times.
Wow. Why did I? Oh, god damn it! I called it. I didn't even mean to fucking it was. I didn't even think it was actually gonna do that. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. I mean, a lot of it's just showing the gameplay, and honestly, I'm already loving the looks of the gameplay. Was that just the expansion of the lava that Matt Walsh has to walk on? Yep, there it is. That's what Matt Walsh needs to walk on. He needs to walk on all over that and, prove his worth to God.
The Victorian age promised.
Puritanical moralism that these woke moralists are trying to destroy. I'm sorry, my brain is still on these fucking weirdos and shit. And honestly, this is I don't know why I keep being reminded with this shit. A grand tomorrow where the moralists have been destroyed in the culture war. Now you get to build the new ashes of the culture war's destruction. The order that has been built from the ashes of chaos. I'm sorry. Honestly, like, it actually looks pretty cool though. Victoria 3, and it is in October 25th. Hey, if it's on sale, I might actually buy it. Victoria 4. Why are motherfuckers already asking for this? You bitch. Like, they are just announcing the release date of this fucking game and you're already fucking asking for the fourth one? Like, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm actually gonna downvote that even though it's never gonna be seen. Like, bitch, like, shut up. Like, they just announced the release date and you're already wondering when the next one's being cut. Like, fuck off. Like, they haven't even done the DLCs for this one, bitch. Like, you know how Paradox Interactive works? They're gonna release, like, 10 DLCs before they even, like... Well, why is that the top comment? What, dude, what the fuck? Oh my... You know, fuck that piece of shit. Like... when's the next one coming out? Now that you released the date for this one, is the shit... Oh my god. Like, are people that impatient? Like, I swear to God, that better have just been a meme, but too many people are gonna realize, or not realize that it is. Ugh, what the people are dumb. It's like you could play as Native Americans, and I want to do that as an Native American USA run. That'd be pretty dope. Apache America. I just do that with the Chinook, because the Chinook were in the Northwest. You know, for, like, the Chinook salmon, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna grab one more. I'm gonna see if I want a peach or a raspberry. I want a flavor one. Let's see, y'all. I think I'll grab a peach. Now just one more of each flavor. There we go. Boom. Ugh. This is not for you. I'm actually running out of treats, but hey, I get paid tomorrow, so I'll give you some treats tomorrow. Oh, give me that look. I have like 3 like quarter or like third bits. I just look like little doggy bone things. It's supposed to be obviously, you know, about like EA, but you know, kind of broken, but whatever. So all I have is a cup. You've eaten all the treats. Pre-orders $40 for the game and $80 for the season pass. Oh my god, dude, why are season passes so fucking expensive, man? Like, the pre-sale season pass needs to be cheaper. Like, I can see $80 once it's released, because, like, I know the season pass basically means you get the DLCs for free as they go on. But, like, I mean, still, though, bro, like, fuck. I don't want to fork $80 just for a season pass. The season pass and the game. I know. I mean, I know. I'm saying season pass with the game included in mind. But still, though, it's just like, It's like, it needs to be like, I don't know, fucking, you know how games like usually are like $60, you know, if you buy it at like a fucking Walmart or something like that, you know, when it comes to like, you know, a new game that comes out, like a new Call of Duty or whatever the fuck. It should be like that. Like, if it's gonna be 40, Season Pass should be a 60 then. If you got like a game at 60, then make it 80. That would make sense. Thinking it's better than buying 15 DLC. Knowing how Paradox Interactive is, you are fucking right. Honestly, you know what, thinking about it, honestly ain't that bad of a price, because Paradox Interactive, their DLCs are either 10, 15, or $20, depending on the DLC size. that's the only thing I hate about Paradox Interactive is that when it comes to the DLCs, like, there's always like one or two core components about the DLCs that really should have just been in the vanilla game in the first place. And on top of that, like, they're fucking expensive. Like I said, they're like either like fucking $10 if it's like a tiny ass little DLC that's like barely anything, or $15 or like $20 depending on how, you know, like I said, depending on how big it is. Like Paradox Interactive, like, it has a very strong, tight community, you know, that's pretty small, but man, Paradox got him by the fucking balls. Paradox has him by the balls, dude. I mean, I'm one of them. I mean, I'm one of the people that Paradox got by the balls. I'm just saying, but man, dude, like, Paradox can't get away with it, though. Like, seriously. Speaking of DLCs, the new Hearts of Iron 4 comes out next month. Yeah, I saw that. I need to get back into fucking playing on my laptop again. I haven't touched it in a while. I get paid in pre-ordering so I can see the new Italy focus tree. Yeah, same here, because honestly, Italy need, like, out of all the superpowers, or at least all the nations that you could play, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, historically significant ones, Italy was the one that had the worst fucking focus tree. Like, just in vanilla, but even as every other fucking faction got upgrades or got different things in their focus tree, Italy was just alone in their shitty ass, just 90s gay fucking focus tree, dude. It's like lame, 90s gay as fuck, just bland, just nothing to it, just worthless. It was just horrible. Been playing Fallout, the old World Blues Fallout mode. I need to do the fucking Kaiserreich mod already. The SCR has a massive branching focus tree that changes based on who you choose to be president. See, that's why I want to get to Old World Blues. I kind of want to see how, like, because I feel like the NCR could actually be, like, even realistically, if we consider the timeline of Fallout, I feel like the NCR could actually be legitimately successful, like, post-war state that ends up, like, reestablishing, like, the most and maximizing the most when it comes to, like, you know, bringing back society and order and governance and so on and so forth. Like, I mean, at least one of them, you know. I mean, I would say, you know, at least to maybe a minor degree, though it will definitely be a very short-lived one, like Caesar's Legion and the Enclave, but it would be very short-lived. Like, unless there's, like, a very intelligent and sophisticated and competent leader at the heads of, you know, either of those type of factions or any other similar adjacent ones in the Fallout lore, they're going to collapse, just straight up. So it's just like, I mean, because it's even in Fallout New Vegas, it's even kind of implied that, hey, Sukov! I mean, it's implied that in Fallout New Vegas, even that even Caesar himself knows that Caesar's Legion would collapse if he died without an heir. Hold on, let me get Sukov. Hey! 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 Get in here! Get in here, bro. Come on. Quit being a butt. Quit being a butt. Ah! Knock the devil! Ah! Fucking trying to trip me now, you son of a bitch! First you're barking, and now you're tripping. Asshole. Brotherhood can go full Terminator mode if implants becoming more machine than man. Basically just like implant themselves in like power armor and shit, I'm assuming. Bruh. It's actually kind of cool but disturbing and very scary at the same time. Has a massive branching path, but it's reasonably difficult because you're one province start. Well, yeah, because the Brotherhood steals mostly like in their bunkers for the most part. But depending on what branch you're in, they're going to be more isolated than not, depending. Like, I know around in the East Coast, they're not as isolated, but like in New Vegas, like especially the branch around Vegas itself, they're very, very isolated. And very isolative in general. But, you know, again, it just kind of depends on which branch of the Brotherhood that you happen to be a part of. Because pretty much, like, outside of Veronica in Falling New Vegas, there's no one within the Brotherhood of Steel that really ventures outside of their bunkers. Basically, it's just Veronica. And she makes herself pretty much like, you know, ambiguous, where like no one knows that she's part of the Brotherhood until, you know, she, you know, lets you know once you kind of discover them and shit like that, depending on how you play the Fallout New Vegas gameplay and shit. I mean, she implies it though, because she'll say they live underground, and they live in a like hole in the ground. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm Veronica. Me and my family live in a hole in the ground. Like, you know, she just straight up, you know, will say it, and she'll say it kind of sarcastically, but very vague, you know. If you pretty much never meet the Brotherhood in the game, that you wouldn't, you know, it does kind of leave it ambiguous. But if you do, you know she's a part of them. And she'll even tell you and let you know eventually. Legion, it gets really hard if you let Caesar die. Well, it also, you know, applies, you know, like I said, you know, that Caesar's Legion would collapse because of the factionalization, especially with different warlords and shit, you know, so. Makes sense. Legion, Caesar's Legion has a big focus tree where if he dies, falls to a bunch of civil wars. Damn. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's not for you! What are you doing, you little sniffer? I just want my fucking cherry Pop-Tarts, you fucking asshole. Makes fast robot, Skynet style AI to bristle over most of it. I suppose depending on how you interpret that, that could be either pretty cool or pretty horrible. It fractures into 3 smaller AIs in a civil war. Wow. Even a single AI, you know, can't even decide on its own how it wants to operate, so it'll literally fracture itself. Wow. So that's like that AI needs some recalibration. Just a little bit. I can sense you staring at me, and it's just like, why, bro? Why you do that, Zukov? But until it fractures, it's scary because it has access to nukes. Well, that's just nice. Dude, what fucking retard and the 5 fucking morons agreed to this thinks this shit? Left-wing fascism is not the answer to right-wing fascism. Implying that fascism is like, you know, a too fucking, you know, political spectral thing where like fascism is also a left-wing thing. Like, you're like, oh my god, what a fucking actual moron. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Because somebody who loses that fight fascism will win. Yeah, but guess what? It's inherently far right, you fucking retard. Like, oh my god, go fuck yourself, you moron. Definitely not TJ, you fucking dipshit. There's a reply to it, but I can't see it. The reply has been censored. Boo. I agree that people possible to be fanatics for communism like fascists are for fascism. What, like Nazbols? Well, I mean, that's just like another way to like rephrase, you know, fascism and shit. It's just that, yeah. It's just that basically, you know, you want like the more quote-unquote communistic leftist economic ideas just for your desirable superior race and your superior fucking group. Beyond that, like, you know, anything goes. Which frankly isn't even really that much fucking different from fascism anyway. I mean, it's like, because the entire idea of, you know, a fascist system is essentially, you know, the maximization of prosperity for the superior elements of the race and within the culture of their people and shit. And minimalization and extermination in worst case scenarios of those that they deem undesirable. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, it all really just kind of comes down to the same shit. So, like, a lot of people that masquerade as, like, with this red aesthetic, you know, or communist aesthetic type of shit, but nonetheless are pretty much, you know, the equivalent of fascists, just with a different little swing to it. I mean, they're still far-right fucking fascists at that point. Instituting labor laws for whites, but free market capitalists for everyone else. Yeah. Well, I guess it kind of depends on which fucking, like, Nazbols would, you know, fucking be trying to push for that. Because everyone would just hire the cheaper labor. Well, yeah. I mean, just how capitalism always likes, you know, to push itself. Capitalism. Yep. Capitalism go burr. Money go burr. Oh, Zukov, bye-bye. I don't know what he's staring at, but he's staring at something. What you staring at, baby? What are you looking at? Zukov, what you looking at, buddy boy? What are you looking at? I'm trying to see what he's looking at, and I can't even tell, dude. What you looking at, baby? I don't see what you're looking at. Are you insane? Are you hallucinating? Are you taking more drugs, Zukov? I've noticed in Victoria 3 trailer you can have an anarchist government. That sounds interesting to me. This sounds based. Dude, I wonder if they would have certain events like Blair Mountain as kind of like some shit that can play a role. Like if you have like, you know, poor workers' rights within your country, then, you know, that might be something that might, you know, bolster and become more of a problem, thus, you know, cause more anarchistic influence within at least the local region or the province or state. I mean, because I know Victoria 2 had some of that type of shit, but like, it never really, I felt like it wasn't really, like, as heavily expansive with, you know, the abilities of, you know, letting, like, some of the more leftist / anarchistic elements of your, you know, country, you know, work out overall. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh to get its gorilla'd. I mean, what happened to Boba Fett? Yeah, basically whatever happened to Boba Fett, and even, like, what Boba Fett did to Little Pump, like, Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh will basically get that. Zukov, what are you doing? There's no fly over here. I know you were attacking the fly, but it ain't over here anymore, dude. There is no more fly. You can stop attacking Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. There it is. Oh, fuck. You know, he's right. No, it was right there. I'm gonna burn this little bitch. I'm gonna burn your punk-ass motherfucker. Burn, bitch! Ah, shit! It flew away. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'll fuck your ass up again, motherfucker. Punk ass hoe. Trying to fucking establish a nest. Little ass. Anyway, so when it comes to Gorilla, I feel like Ben Shapiro will be the one that gets the little pump treatment, and Matt Walsh will be the one that gets Boba Fett. Yeah, the Boba Fett treatment when it comes to it's Gorilla. Ben Shapiro just gets face fucked to death by Gorilla. Jordan Peterson should get the little pump treatment. Yeah, both of them should, honestly. I mean, it works. I mean, both of it works for me as far as I'm concerned. Jordan Peterson should get the up your walk more or less. We'll see you just drowns in gore. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Okay. 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 Oh no. Oof. What the fuck? Dude, that the woke moralist thing, that'll just never get old. It'll just never get old. I'll always laugh and giggle just at the virtue of that. Up yours, woke up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who. I still can't keep a fucking straight face. Oh my god, dude, what a fucking little shitbag, bro. Oh my god. Anyway, I know I missed some stuff on the other nuggets, so here. Let's see what this is about. Alabama pastor who was arrested while watering neighbor's garden. Well, that is a fucking crime against humanity. How dare you fucking water the garden of your neighbor, you piece of shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you? How fucking dare you? Watering the neighbor's garden and their lawn? You son of a bitch. That is a fucking crime. We're taking you in. Oh, pastor. Puh. Yeah, right, bro. That's just a fucking surface, you know. That's just a fucking surface excuse for the crime mafioso fucking career that you really have underneath there, bruh. Watering the neighbor's lawn? You son of a bitch. Working for the fucking mob, that one. Is his neighbor gonna sue for having sprinklers taken out? I mean, I have like a 99% guarantee that this person's black, isn't it? Alabama pastor. I have like, okay, Alabama, a pastor, getting arrested for watering the neighbor's lawn. There's like at least an 85% chance that this person is black as fuck. I'm just gonna be honest with that because straight up, I guarantee fucking to you, this is just some pure racial profiling nonsense. If I'm wrong, I would eat a shoe.
Watering his neighbor's garden.
Well, I'm not eating a shoe anytime soon because that person does not look white at all. So, yep, wow, weird. My assumption was correct.
Holmes is with us now.
So just, I thought it was like my mind. This just goes to show you, like my mind when I heard the headline of this was like, oh, he was violating water regulations or some shit. Nope, it's just racism.
I mean, the water regulations wasn't even it. Like, if it was California, maybe. But, like, I mean, Venom would be the only one that would, you know, like, know if there's water regulations in Alabama or not. And and even without that, I 1000% guarantee you there's no water regulations in this fucking, like, bullshit. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Like, Alabama ain't known for fucking, like, you know, being prone for wildfires and shit like that, you know? Like, I doubt that. Of course, it was just gonna be straight up fucking racism. I mean, what else would it be, you know? I mean, seriously. There are no water regulations. Proving my point. I didn't even have to wait for an answer to know that. Like in Oregon, yeah, there is, because there's wildfire risks out here. like in Alabama, like I said, it's not known for wildfires, so water regulations ain't a fucking big deal. And even then, because there were a bunch of the government's far right as fuck anyway over there, like, they probably wouldn't give a fuck either way anyway. So, like, Alabama water regulations, I mean, like, come on now. The neighbor probably thinks it's some kind of drug water that gets into plants, which is why you should be against that. Drug water? I mean, how? That's what I would wonder. Like, how? Like, what? Like, some weird, like, toxic, like, pseudo-psychedelic chemical that would be in, like, the lead pipes in the fucking water? I don't know. Like,
that guy over there on that lawn, I saw a white family there last week. Let me gaffle him up. Like, oh, fuck.
Here we go. Could you murder our lawn? Could you water our lawn for us, Mike? Oh, sure, no problem.
How can I get some? I mean, no, for fucking real.
Problem.
I mean, if that's the case, where the fuck can I get that?
Has Paul filled out? Is he still a tanky? I'm only a tanky when it comes to my desire to throw your dumbass screaming into a fucking gulag re-education camp.
I'm only a tanky when it comes to throwing your dumbass in a fucking gulag re-education camp. Dude, I fucking love Paul sometimes, dude. Oh my god.
Like, not a monosyllabic idiot. I'm a tanky on just you.
Just you.
I want you to be oppressed by the state. I want you to be gaffled up and thrown into a gulag and disappeared from society. So, yeah.
Everyone else is fine, but you in particular, Ryan B. You gotta
Just
go.
Ryan B. Just Ryan B.
Damn, poor Ryan B, though. Dude, Ryan B being called out, damn. He's going to the gulag. Have fun in the mines, bro. It's nice knowing you, man. It's nice knowing you, Ryan B.
He is the source of all evil on this planet.
What
Source of all evil.
is saying after the ordeal. Good morning. All right, Stray. Driving while black.
Damn, poor dude, poor YMB, dude.
Walking while black. Golfing
Blacking while black.
Swimming while black.
Watering your neighbor's lawn.
Hold
on while black.
Napping while
breathing while black.
Black. Staying
napping while black. God damn it. God, I can't parody reality anymore, dude. I just want to parody reality like once. Is it Ryan or Ryan? I think it's Ryan. I mean, I'm a little drunk, so I can't understand why those are a little, like... Oh, come on. Shut the hell up, bro. No! Shut up! Hey! Shut up! Hey! Oi! Unnecessary! Hey! Did you really say napping? Yeah, napping while black. But before that, I said fucking, like, breathing while black as, like, kind of a little bit of a parody, because he keeps going on with that. Because, like, I get the point. But then he just went on to say napping while black, and it's like, that's pretty much the equivalent of my parody. It's like, god damn it. I mean, it's like, you can't fucking, like, the Onion has co-opted the Matrix. The Onion owns reality. Like, god damn it.
Black, sitting in a Starbucks while black, bird watching while black.
Bird watching while black. Oh my god. Okay, now he's starting to reference, some legitimate cases that happened, like the case where, like, some dudes wanted to go to the bathroom because they didn't buy anything and yet got fucking the police called on them and shit. The dude, like, walking at New York, fucking the park, like, was it New York, like the state park there, whatever the fuck. Like, I mean, there was the case where that lady who was actually fucking choking her goddamn dog, freaking out because a black person was walking in the fucking park, bird watching, basically. I mean, now he's just referencing different shit at this point. But, I mean, again, get the point. Like, yeah, like, systemically, there's a massive, element of racial disproportionality, of oppression against, black folk and, brown people really just kind of in general overall. But, like, you're a news reporter, bro. Like, saying it, like, over and over and over again with various different examples. Like, we get it, bro. Like, like, we know it so much that we're fucking desensitized to it practically. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Vernacular here. And look, you're not talking about plenty of these stories here.
I'm fun while black. I mean, for...
I wish he would just like start fucking like laying into the two fucking white people on the panel. This is your fucking fault.
Yeah. No, I mean honestly, like I feel like I would out on like yeah, like if you started like kind of going a ham a little bit, I'd feel like I have a different opinion. Quit being a news reporter, plain little fuck, and
now watering your neighbor's plant.
What this dude's gonna be like, I am deeply fucking. This is.
Yes, him and the white lady are just like yes.
But there's more pressure. There's more pressure on him though. Her too, of course, because she's very Karen looking, especially. So she's really gotta fucking work hard.
I mean, even from this distance, I'm looking at her hair, and it literally looks like I have a God complex haircut.
Haunted by this stuff.
Yep.
Haunted, you guys. Come on.
Plants while black. That's what this pastor was doing, and police were called on him. And now we have this police.
Why didn't you put so much emphasis on the word watering? I have no idea.
Body cam video that shows how he goes from literally a water hose to handcuffs.
I mean, you know,
literally.
He planning on doing with that water hose? Flood the earth or something? You know, like.
Yeah, maybe he was gonna do Noah's Ark 2 Electric Boogaloo, man. You never know. Fucking, you know, the guy was being a criminal scum.
There's about all this flooding going on. Who do you think is up to that?
He was gonna sneak it under the door and fill the whole house with water until the door burst open, so he could go rob them.
Black men with hoses, man. I mean, it's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous trend sweeping our nation. It's happening.
In just a couple of minutes.
All right, let's see it.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor to I don't want to hear. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
This newly.
I mean, they're the fucking cops. They're gonna probably do that even if you didn't say that, bro. Now you just. I mean, oh man. Yeah, fuck cops.
Making that kind of statement, you probably expect, like, it's ridiculous that you'd even want to do that. So if you want to do something so ridiculous, you go right ahead. Because you would figure that, like, any reasonable person would be like, we're not going to do that. That's stupid.
But the
no.
cops.
Nope. Nope. Narrator, they died.
Released police body camera video shows the arrest of an Alabama pastor who was watering his neighbor's plants.
Do what you got to do, don't lock me up.
This past spring, Pastor Michael Jennings was doing a favor for a neighbor.
I don't really care that he's a pastor, by the way. Can we stop trying to, like, make him good because he's a pastor? Because I don't care about that.
No.
I mean, in America, everyone loves, like, oh, the good persecuted Christian complex story. I mean, that's the why it's being pushed. Cops would have locked him up even no one called in the first place. Yeah. If they happened to patrol that street and just happened to see him outside, like, they would have done the same thing.
Really, that he's a pastor. He's just an innocent dude that was doing a favor for his.
I don't give a fuck if he is a fucking, like, career criminal or something. If he's watering a lawn, if he's watering a garden, that's not sufficient reason to fucking gaffle him up.
But I will tell you this, like, good, bad, right, or wrong, because he's a pastor, something will probably be done about this. Whereas, if he was just a rank-and-file black dude, this probably wouldn't be covered by the goddamn news. You know what I mean? So, at the very least, it sheds a little bit of light on this, and maybe some of the cops.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that these motherfuckers will. I mean, this is just, like, anybody who justifies shit like this, like, you show up at a fucking house, a dude's watering the fucking plants, and you're like, what you doing here? Like, come on. Give me a break.
Who'd asked him to water.
I wonder what the he was no angel weird people have to say about this. Oh, that he probably, you know, had, like, some sin where he did, like, some adultery or some shit. Or whatever the fuck. Like, they'll probably, like, they'll always find something. Even if there literally isn't nothing. Like, oh, he made a mean tweet once, or he made a bad Facebook post here and there or some shit.
Out of town, but police...
No good deed goes unpunished, eh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Just trying to fucking help out his neighbors. His neighbors ask him, hey, can you water our plants while we're gone? And apparently this is the result of that. Trying to help your fucking neighbors out, be a good fucking person and shit. Oh, here's the cops. Here's the cops.
This sin and not being much lighter skin complaint. Yeah. The predetermined, you know, element of that, you have, like, a certain melanin in your skin. It's like, yeah, that's sin, you know? It's like, how dare you have the sin of being a darker complexion on your skin? No.
Piece of shit. Fucking help me out.
What the hell?
But we need we need $13 billion more of these fuckers running our streets, right? That's the solution to our problems.
Yep.
Again, Reconstruction
That's the Joe Biden
2.
fucking solution to our problem. More
Reconstruction 2. We need to have some soldiers around so when one of these fucking racist cops pulls up to a black guy, the soldiers can go, turn around, leave him alone. He's not doing anything wrong. Yeah, well, get your fucking hillbilly ass to the re-education camp, dumb fuck.
Considering that's Alabama, they're definitely Reconstruction 2 Electric Boogaloo would definitely impact Alabama pretty heavily, and for good reason too. Hey,
all content is satire.
Arrived and started questioning.
Except for that last part. That was true.
Not satire. I mean, I just want the stuff Paul said obviously is not satire, but other things we said, everything else satire. Here's a few bucks. Thanks for giving me something to listen to after work. That's what we're here for, man. I mean, at the end of the day, we can fucking kid ourselves that we're making some kind of difference or something like that. But really, we're just here to yammer for you to fucking have something to do while we're all slaves.
I mean, this is
while we're all cogs in the machine. You can at least listen to some anti-cog rhetoric.
While we're all cogs in the machine of dystopian capitalism, we could all at least have the virtue of just appreciating the anti-cog rhetoric that we all can appreciate amongst each other. While having very little real means to actually do much about it. Hope the person who called the cops catches on fire. Or the cops' house catches on fire. Someone on my house, someone wanted my house to put it out. Sorry, I don't want to overstep your boundary. I don't want to have the cops calling on me because I was trying to water your house. Sorry, I think I'll pass today.
A codependent environment, you know what I mean? Like, you may get a little bit of fun and entertainment and release listening to us go through the fucking horrible news of the day. But going through it and laughing about it and shit is therapeutic to us as well. I think I'll speak from
I'm kind of with Paul where when it's not a news day, I'm kind of not tuned into this shit.
No,
because it's I don't need minute by minute updates. Once a week is good for me. That's about what I need.
I just do microdoses every day. That's just how I do it.
Because I already know. Because if something drastic happens, it'll fucking filter to my ears. I'm going to hear, if something really crazy starts happening, I'll get phone calls and shit.
Right.
Oh. I don't get that much. Jesus Christ. At least for me, it's I always microdose a little bit every day. There'll always be at least a little something, something. Usually it's always a little something, something going on every day. Besides, the weekends. Usually that's the only time where it's literally fuck all happening.
What happened? The president transformed into a lizard monster on the stage to eat 15 people. I'd be like, I knew it. I knew it.
Even Zukov knew it. He's just I knew it. Dude, we all knew it. Yeah, we all know. We knew it. It's true.
Ask and revealed he really was the fucking alien from Fire in the Sky,
Yeah.
And he said, he actually speaks really well in his own language. The slurs were all trying to say human words with his alien tongue, That's how he's supposed to talk.
This type of shit, the news stuff, without
this goddamn fly, dude.
Outlet for it, I've been in the position where it's
Alright, I see it. I see you, motherfucker. Ah! You piece of shit, you little whore! Fuck you. I'm gonna kill you, motherfucking fly. I need an actual torch. Fuck! Ah! Fucker. Piece of shit. Dude, I fucking hate flies, man. Those flies, honestly... Ah! You motherfucker! Ah! Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Lean over here again, bitch. Come on. Come on. I'll fuck you up. Where are you? I will send you to Jesus. Oh, come on, come on. I will send you to Jesus. Ah! You fuck! There we go. Alright. Now, ooh, there we go. Yeah, alright. Come on, land! Land, motherfucker! Where'd you go? Come on! Come on! Motherfucker! Land! I hate flies. I don't even care if I smack it with this and it's only incapacitated and even lives. Don't eat. I will send you to Jesus. Oh shit, I didn't think I was actually gonna get you. I'm sorry, baby. Baby, come here. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I didn't mean to get you. Oh, he's so offended. He just ran away. What are you saying to Jesus? This fucking housefly. I literally am locked and loaded, ready to go, and I fucking do like goddamn civilian casualties and get Zukov instead. Oh god, dude, fuck flies, man. Ugh. I'm getting emotional damage over here because well, now there's real significant emotional damage. Where the fuck was... what? Around here, right? Yeah, somewhere around here. Alright. Alright, we're skipping back a little bit. God damn it. My escapades. What the fuck?
Ignoring it completely. But it's putting it where it belongs ultimately in my life. In a place where, you know, hopefully I can get together with
okay, this sounds about where we were.
All my good friends and laugh about it and make some money while doing so, you know.
You know, I'm very sorry to any aliens that I might have offended with that alien impersonation. That was very callous of me to, you know, I'm watching a story right here about intolerance, and yet I myself did not have the wherewithal to avoid intolerance of alien civilizations, and I'm very sorry for that remark.
I don't know if sorry's going to cut it this time, TJ.
I know.
Yeah, dude, those fucking aliens are just going to destroy the entire planet now. We're going to have, like, Independence Day, but Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith ain't going to save us this time. Nice. Thanks, CJ. You piece of shit.
Now, from this moment forward, I will never do another impersonation of an alien entity ever again. I'm done with that. That's in the past.
Kodos.
It's too late now, dude. Dude, we're fucked. They're coming. They're already on their way. We're done. It's too late. Wrap it up, bro. You already fucked us up. You fucked us over already. We're done. You're like, we might as well just pack our bags now. Like, good job, TJ. You fucked it up for everybody. That apology, that it won't even work. They won't even accept it. Good job. Nice. You ruined it for everyone.
TJ.
You're not supposed to be here.
Saying it? I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street.
You're Pastor Jennings?
Yes, I'm looking out for their house while they gone.
Okay,
do you eat shrooms or smoke? You eat them.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Do you have, like, ID and
no. I'm not gonna give you no ID.
Why not?
Man.
It's ridiculous, man.
Would you fuck... Hey,
so fucking
pig.
dumb.
Hey, pig. Yeah, you. Fuck off. Get the fuck...
Hey, Zukov, you're not a pig. You're a dog.
Fuck out of here. Quick, why are you ringing this guy? What is he doing? What's he doing that you need to be fucking with him? He's watering plants, so that's suspicious activity?
I mean, he's literally just watering plants like this, like... Like, I mean, he's not even doing anything wrong at all. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with what he's fucking doing. He's just quite literally just watering plants. I've eaten them since the trip ship. I've heard if you smoke them, you go for the same effects. Huh.
Lost, pig.
This is what Biden's allocating $13 billion for,
I know.
by the way.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, by the way, while Biden's, doing the whole student loan debt relief thing, he's also allocating fucking $13 billion of police funding and shit. Fucking racist pro-crime bill, like avocation of the crime bill, racist old goddamn, pro-police Joe Biden is fucking making sure that police are heavily funded, even though on a campaign trail and everything else in between, he was always like, you know, trying to do the empty promises of, like, you know, being someone who's at minimal going to reform the police, but, you know, potentially defund some of it too, even. Like, and even then, like, even when he was called out on, like, you know, debate stages, he wouldn't even fucking admit that shit. But yeah, would pretend to virtue that shit all the time here and there, but nonetheless, you know, just make sure that his boys in blue, you know, and the fucking thin blue line is, you know, protected every step of the way, because crime bill, racist old Joe, gotta make sure that, you know, fucking, you know, police union and the fucking police dollars, you know, rake up in his pockets. See Secret Talk video, John Fetterman urging Biden to decriminalization as weed. I mean, until Fetterman is in the Senate, I don't know how much this word is gonna mean anything yet. Like, his voice is falling on empty ears, sadly. Or, no pun intended, but literal deaf ears.
And,
you know, I think
KKK
that's you know,
stormtroopers.
I've been trying to figure out what to make a fucking amazing atheist video about. I think I'm gonna make it about Biden's stupid little fucking plan. Just like
fund the police.
Yeah, like this fund the police bullshit.
And there's endless amounts of this shit too. This is not an isolated incident. This probably happens at least 100 times a day in a bunch of, like, every city.
This fucking flies over here. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Ah, no, I didn't! What the fuck? Oh, you... Come back, come on, land again, bitch. Land again, ho. Come on. Yeah, no. Ah, fucker. Come on. Where'd he even go? God, fuck these flies. Honestly, if Biden did decriminalization, I think he would ride that to the second term. I mean, definitely if he legalized, sure. I don't know how much that would be, you know, I don't know if that would be enough for me to win a vote for me in 2024 from him. Like, even if that was the case, I don't even think I'd still vote for him, honestly.
There are too many of these fucks. This is a cop that has nothing better to do than drive around a neighborhood and look for a black guy to gaffle up.
Which Joe Biden is an advocate and a funder of. Joe Biden wants to fund this and advocate and continue the status quo of this exact same fucking behavior. Just a reminder. And frankly, this is why I will never fucking, you know, endorse or support or ever fucking be an advocate for a piece of shit like him. Because he's just nothing but an old, dementia-addled fucking racist and a fucking Reagan-style fucking Democrat that, you know, wants to, you know, be nothing but a fucking cocksucker for the fucking police and the thin blue line and make sure that, you know, like, you know, anything that they want, you know, gets, you know, away, you know, every single step of the way while fucking selling out every fucking little progressive virtue and giving little breadcrumbs here and there like student loan debt shit. Which is good that did happen, but that's what it was. It's a fucking breadcrumb while they do fucking racist, disgusting fucking shit like this, you know, behind our fucking back while they do that, you know, to make us, you know, celebrate like a bunch of fucking harpy-ass seals, expecting that, you know, we'll just accept their fucking bullshit, you know, while they do this behind our fucking back, stabbing us. So it's like, oh, what? I'm supposed to, you know, just be like, oh, you know, you might get a good second term, and I might vote for that guy, and I love him, and you know, it's like, nah. Like, yeah, he might win that second term, potentially, if that were to be the case, but won't get it from me. I don't give a fuck how much he does. I mean, he's sown his fucking bed, and I already know what it, you know, where it is, and I know how he sleeps in it, and I don't want it.
This guy for his ID, unless the guy is suspected of a fucking crime. What is the crime he's suspected of? He's literally watering the plants with a hose plugged into his house.
He's over there right now, trying to water them plants against their consent, trying to drown them plants, attacking his neighbor's house with that hose. Just destroying their property and that stuff they work real hard for, because that's what them folk do.
It's been a really slow day and whatever.
So let's make sure that this Democratic president, the quote, center's left progressive element of, you know, our government, funds the shit out of the police to make sure they keep doing racist shit like this. Yep, that's right.
There's nothing but slow days in Alabama. That's all they do.
I'm pretty sure that's correct, isn't it?
Unbroken window policing. Yeah.
Some broken window policing. God damn it. It's fucking true.
If you're not one to identify yourself,
Who called y'all?
that's what we got to figure out.
I ain't did nothing suspicious or nothing wrong. Told him I'm a pastor. I pastor until I don't hear.
Sir.
You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
We're just trying to talk to you, man. Come here. Look, man, let me see your phone.
Sometimes we have murders. Oh, every now and then, you know, the police have very exciting things to do. Sounds like I mean, all in all, it sounds like an exception to the rule, though, overall. I mean, because it's like, usually on a day-to-day basis, like, the worst thing they have to deal with is maybe the occasional DUI of, like, you know, some Elmer Fudd, you know, drinking a little too much after work. I mean, yeah, I guess every now and then they might have to deal with a murder. But if that murdered person happens to be a trans person or a black person, then likely they're just going to brush it under the rug and not give a fuck about it. Meth busts. Well, alright. Well, I guess there's some stuff that, you know, the police do every now and then and shit. So, I don't know.
Talk to you, because this is what happens during every conversation. We cuff you up.
Okay, look, man.
Who called y'all?
You have to identify yourself. All I did said, hey, man, do you live here? No. Is that your car? No.
The pastor was eventually put in the back of a squad car. A woman soon arrives on scene, identifies herself as a neighbor, and vouches for Pastor Jennings.
He lives right there.
What a fucking... These cops.
Look at these fucking redneck pieces of shit. Dude. Look at this guy's posture. He just looks like a stereotype.
Yeah, he literally is hunched over like this, like, well, it looks like you actually vouch for this black guy out here. So I suppose he's a good dude, isn't he? My god, he literally looks like some serf peasant motherfucker and shit, like slunched over, being like, yes, my lord. My way.
Moron. You know what I mean?
My god.
Let me see your ID, bitch.
Someone draw this guy. Draw this guy for me. My Twitter DMs on my TJ does.
You know what? I'm on it. I'm gonna do it.
Elf Twitter are open. I want you to draw me a picture of this guy.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll literally do it.
Rendition of this. This pose, this fucking vacant expression, this fucking paunchy ass motherfucker.
Dude, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it.
Sad.
I'm gonna attempt it. My God.
I'm not gonna any rewards or anything for it. Just if you're an artist, that'd be. Oh my God. That'd be honestly, but whatever. She's on the right side at least, so I won't mock her.
And they're flowers. This is probably my fault.
Okay. She says she is
probably my fault. Wait, what does that imply? Wait, were you the cunt that fucking called the cops in the first place?
Call to police.
Oh my God, you stupid bitch.
So you were. So go fuck yourself, you cunt. I mean, you should have a citation for doing a fucking, you know, like, wasting the cops' time and falsifying a fucking police call on 911, bitch. Like, I mean, if anyone should be, like, gavelled up and harangued and charged, if anything, it should be this cunt. You know, fuck you. Oh, you're gonna call the cops because you see a black man, but, oh, now that you realize that it's the pastor of your local church, oh, you misidentified the black man, so now you want to fucking, try to be the little saint. Go fuck yourself, cunt. Fuck you.
Never mind. Yeah,
she gets my. I mean, she did the right thing ultimately, I guess. But like her first reaction, like
she don't deserve fucking sympathy for that.
That guy in the neighbor's yard, bitch called the police.
Fucking
bitch.
Right, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was him. It looked like some other black guy that, could have been a criminal delinquent thug, because, I'm just some white racist bitch, that just, like, thinks that certain black people are exceptions to my general bias about what black people are because I'm a bitch cunt. Fuck you.
Fucking mongoloids. Why is he still cuffed?
Why was he ever cuffed?
Yeah, he's literally still cuffed. Like, I mean, these fucking mongoloid ass fucking crackerjack motherfucker. Like, fuck these pieces of shit, dude. Fuck all these people besides his pastor. Like, leave me to defend a fucking pastor in this situation, but Jesus Christ, like, this guy literally does nothing. And he got some dumb cunt who called the cops and trying to fucking be the saint and everything. You know, being like, oh, I vouch for him, even though he's like the wrong, you know, like, even though he was basically like a black guy I misidentified because, you know, I'm just some dumb, stupid, racist bitch. And have these dumb mongoloid ass fucking pigs, you know, with fucking state-sanctioned thug gangster badges, you know, trying to fucking harangue and arrest this motherfucker. It's like, fuck it. Ugh. Man, like, fuck all these pieces of shit but the pastor. Like, the pastor's, like, the only, like, fucking human being, like, worth a fucking, like, 2 cents of, like, the sentience of being a human. Like, he's, like, the only, like, actual human being worth qualifying for such. Like, the rest of these motherfuckers, I'm like, nah.
You okay?
Jennings.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, so, no, what the fuck? Yeah, don't tell them that. No, none of them are okay. They're beyond okay.
They're not okay.
Because they're not
Nothing
okay.
about
They're
what
horrible.
happened to you just now was okay. Your neighbor is not okay. The cops are not okay. He's still fucking cuffed while he's telling them they're okay.
Y'all okay? It's all right. That's okay. Is it?
Spoke to GMA.
Over his pastor and he bought his house of church donations. Well, I mean, that doesn't give him a right to be gaffled up like this either way. And frankly, considering where he is, it doesn't sound like his house is very, you know, highly priced. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, maybe he's still kind of a scumfuck for being a religious pastor that, you know, uses church donations for his own personal aggrandizement. Yeah, like, he's probably not, like, the greatest dude ever. But, like, you know, like I said, doesn't deserve this shit. Same thing about, like, the kid from the other night, you know, who, like, we're reacting to that, from the Hassan video that we saw, where, like, someone in Hassan's chat was just like, oh, you know, something about this kid's, you know, like, you know, about him, you know, came up that he's a Trump supporter or whatever. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like, the cops are haranguing him, you know, like a bunch of fucking pigs that they are, and that fundamentally is the problem. Like, it doesn't matter who it's happening to. Which is legally okay, but morally iffy in my opinion. Yeah, and frankly, it shouldn't really be legal, but, you know, that's a different problem. You know, if, you know, like, when it comes to that issue, like, I mean, that in itself, you know, should face its own, you know, legal, you know, like, reaction. But for watering a fucking lawn for this shit, like, I mean, yeah, like, I'm definitely certainly going to defend him in this case. I mean, because there's nothing wrong with watering your neighbor's lawn while they're gone for the, you know, a weekend or something. I mean, there's, like, and it's fucking ridiculous that the stupid bitch from earlier is trying to pretend to be a saint, especially out of all this, who initially was the one to call the cops on him in the first place. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if he's done some morally questionable, you know, bullshit, you know, as a pastor, that's one thing, but at the end of the day, even that in itself doesn't deserve this shit.
It was kind of surreal at that moment because I'm wondering, why is this happening? I was thinking if I did something wrong or resisted, that I could have been shot. So I was trying to walk away, even though I didn't understand what was going on. I was agitated, I was angry, but I knew to comply.
The 56-year-old maintains this was a case of racial profiling.
I guess.
Wait.
Allegedly? No, it literally was.
Is that even remotely in question?
Oh my god.
Is that even, like, remotely fucking in question? Because, I mean, not in my book, it ain't.
And see, look at this, too.
It's literally a clear-cut case of fucking racial profiling.
Police unit to show up to deal with this non-fucking issue. At least 2. I see another one.
Oh, yeah, there is.
2 pigs with nothing better to do than come and harass a dude watering his neighbor's flowers.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, pal. Just let's keep playing.
Yeah, fund the police, Biden, you fucking...
Guys, here's my gun plan. 13 billion in new cops. This Reconstruction 2 thing seems to be going. I think I like it Reconstruction Act 2 myself.
Yep.
Maybe that's too much of a mouthful, though. Because Act 2 makes it sound, I don't know, boom, more official.
Yep.
Or like, you could even call it like the Second Reconstruction Act or something, or like Reconstruction. No, re is a bad term.
Reconstruction Reloaded.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Racial profile.
We're not racial profile.
Three.
Shut up. Shut up.
Three police units.
There's probably more there, honestly, dude. There's probably more. There's probably fucking like 6 cars there. They don't show up. They show up in force for every little thing. Dude with a garden hose. How many cops you need? Hundreds.
Yep.
As many as you could get.
Put out
Every cop in the area needs to fucking show up here right now. We got a fucking black man with a hose, y'all. We got a black dude who's watering his neighbor's fucking plants.
Yep.
Come on.
No, sir. No, sir. We're not about that.
I told you.
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up, you cracker motherfucker.
Yeah. Now
lying son of
they're
a
being
bitch.
all like conciliatory with him. No, sir. No, we're not about gaffling up innocent black people for no reason.
That ain't us, y'all. You thinking of somebody else. Why you always gotta judge us by the color of our uniform? Just 'cause I wear blue doesn't make me a racist.
I mean, what were we supposed to do? Your big fucking pimply, toothless breeding sow of a neighbor called the cops and reported a black guy with a hose.
What we
Fuck
supposed
outta here,
to do
man.
when we hear something like that, huh?
Milksop breeding sow across
Are
the
we
street.
just-
Oh, there's
are we just
Darky over there.
We're just supposed to hear that there's a black man watering a lawn and just let that slide on by? Is that what
There's
we're
a
supposed
black
to do?
guy. Looks like he's got some kind of gun and it's spraying some kind of liquid all over my neighbor's house. Can you come help?
I think that they invented some kind of new liquid bullets and he's firing them at all my neighbor's plants. Oh.
It's a new form of chemical napalm that they're just trying to, unleash out of the hoses, and, he's just watering down the lawn so he can burn it all up.
Bama flap
How do I
doodle,
know
yeah.
that there's
I
anybody?
had one hose in my hand.
Yeah, like let's just say this guy's a criminal, right? What fucking criminal shows up to a person's house, starts watering the fucking plants?
This
Is he casing
Literally none.
a joint? Is that the contention here? Like what? We're not racist, black man that we have in handcuffs for watering his neighbor's plants. What makes you think that?
Throughout the video, police can be heard suggesting that the situation might have been different if Jennings had provided identification.
Yeah, dude, if only you would have complied with
There's no legal obligation for him to do that either. Like, he doesn't have to do that. Like, if there's no, if he's not suspected of a crime and shit, and there's no, actual, legal reason for, a citizen to give an ID to a cop, they don't have to. They're not obligated to do that at all. I mean, just the virtue of, hey, you're watering someone's, plants, we need your ID, sir. Hey, you're walking down the street, and you gave us the bird. Hey, we need your ID there, buddy. It's no, you don't. Go fuck yourself. You literally don't. There's no obligation for me to do that to you, motherfucker.
Ends of you. I mean, this whole situation could have been avoided if you had just complied with our unreasonable requests for your ID, even though you've done nothing wrong and we're under no obligation to show us.
Yeah, if you just roll over and give us your booty hole, there won't be no problem.
If you just let us, gangbang and sucking our dicks a little bit, I don't know, everything would be fine.
I wouldn't have had to have raped him. If he'd have just presented his ass and said, "Here you go, officer," I could have just fucked him consensually, but he didn't consent, so I had to force him. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Could have had consensual booty intercourse, but instead he chose anal rape. It's not my fault. It's give me a break. These cops are fucking pure psychotic evil, dude.
That's pretty much just the standard qualification for cops.
13 million more, please. 13 billion more in new cops. Need it. Want it. Love it. Solutions.
Bring them on.
Yep, that's entirely how you solve the problems when it comes to when it comes to corruption and fucking brutality within police and shit. It's just give them $13 billion more in federal funding. That'll work. 100%.
Future. More cops, please. Don't change them. Just like this. More of these. More of the...
Yep, just $13 billion to keep status quo.
That's what I want. Taiwan shoots at Chinese drone after president warns of strong countermeasures.
Oh boy, that just sounds more like, the same typical back and forth fear-mongering and shit with the, wars and shit and geopolitical tensions. Whoa. Zukov, why do you... Can you not? What the fuck? Like, what the hell? What the actual fucking hell? You know, this make me, shut it! Ugh. It's making me feel a tune, actually. A tune, you know... And condolences and solidarity for all of our lovely police in blue. Zukov, you need to quit. Quit with your barking nuisance. Your nonsense. Nice and night that we drive a truck going downtown to beat up trucks. And you're gonna drive, I'll bring the beer. It's an easy shift, no one to fear. Let's ride, alright. Also, I don't think, you know, police in this country would ever fucking evolve out of their, like, safe driving shit, you know, that they always, you know, kind of were, especially during the pre-Civil War days. Because it's pretty much just how they always operate at this point. Hey! Hey! Get over here! What the fuck? Stop it. Motherfucker. Don't even dare. I don't even want to hear from you. No. You drive your dress, it's a kick in the ass. We'll beat you blue till you shit your pants. No, you driving, you big ass stink. There's 6 of us, bitch, so sucking our dicks. Let's ride, I'll ride. Let's ride, low ride. To the left, newspapers might whine a bit that the guys at the station, they don't give a shit. News stash calls and you do something wicked. No siree, Jack, just give it tickets. Let's ride, how ride. And I gotta fly. It's not the one that was annoying me, but it was the small one. Hey, bitch. Let's ride, low ride. Zukov. Do I have any more of those streets left? Let's see.
This next record is dedicated to friends of mine.
Kind of.
For every cop that has ever
There you go.
taken advantage of somebody, beat them down or hurt them because they got long hair, listen to the wrong kind of music, wrong color, whatever they thought was the reason to do it. For every one of those fucking police, I'd like to take a pig out here in this parking lot and
Shoot him in the motherfucking face. This song would not be able to be getting away with played live. At least if anyone did a cover of it. I've always thought, I feel like if I were to do like at least, you know, like different cover songs and shit like that and try to perform live, I would try to say that little interlude part first, but I have a strong feeling that that wouldn't necessarily be able to be getting away with. Or just a song in general. Killer, better you than me. Hey, mama, screamer! Bubble! Killer! Let's never get even! Let's be alright! Let's be all night! Let's be all night! Everything's just right! Hey! Suck off, you piece of shit. Time. It's almost at the 3 a.m. mark. Probably let the song play out and smoke this last bowl and call it good. Hey! I know you hate the cops too. I wouldn't let the cops near you anyway. They'd be more likely to shoot you more than anything. I wouldn't let anyone's dog near a fucking cop anyway. Considering that cops would just basically rather shoot them than fucking, you know, treat dogs as they are. The sweet little fluffos and puppos and friendly little sweet boys and girls that they are, because they're just friendly little puppos. If a dog attacks a cop, I mean, that's just because the dog, you know, don't like you because you're a pig. That ain't the dog's fault. Should've picked a different fucking career profession. Sukaf! Come here! Come here, bro! Come here! Come on! Come here! Sukaf, come on! Dog! Sukaf, come on! Come here! Come here! Baby! Baby! Baby, come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Dude, this dog, dude, I swear to God. Hey! Come here. I literally opened these Pop-Tarts, dude. Come on. Dude, you're a motherfucker, bro. Fuck you. I'm gonna eat those Pop-Tarts anyway, but, like, come on. Like, you're not gonna, like, this in itself is not attracting you? You piece of fucking fuck. Get over here. Come on. Here. I'm not giving you this, but I'm attracting you. Fuck you, dog. I swear to God, you're being a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Look at you. You fuck. Wow. Hey! You motherfuck. Hey, hey. Stop it. Hey. Stop it. Me and your fruit. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with him. I don't even know. You're crazy, you know that? You're fucking psycho. What'd you get? What'd you get, bro? Little mutt. Anyway. I think I'll call it good for the rest of the night, so. Peace out, of course. I should be back around for the next one.